The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and he missed the complete. He's crazy.
Overside Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
In 1948, Harold Brasington saw the huge crowd that Indianapolis drew and thought, yeah, I could do that back home. And thus, the Darlington Raceway was created in a cotton and peanut field. The track drew its unique look because Harold promised his neighbor at the time that the track would not disturb his minnow farm. Well, the minnows have since left, but the track still retains its shape to this day. Darlington has gained the nickname Too Tough to Tame, and it lives true today. The fastest way is inches from the wall, and a Darlington stripe, which is a phrase that is revered, is also just gladly accepted. Drivers are expected to scrape the wall and would turn, and actually, back in the day, they would run on the right side of the frame, big old planks of wood to support the sheet metal from buckling in. Darlington is a tough old lady, and its victory lane is littered with legends of NASCAR: Pearson, Petty, Earnhardt, Yarborough, Elliott, and many more. Darlington has stood the test of time and is a crown jewel of the AdvoCare Cup schedule. Winning here means everything, and it carries huge implications for the chase. 2 spots remain with 3 drivers fighting for them. Who can dance with the lady in black and come out in victory lane? Who will earn too many stripes and ruin their day? We will find out tonight in our throwback race with our live flag-to-flag coverage of the AdvoCare Southern 300. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek. Joining me in the booth is Tanner Sharp, and spotting for us is Trevor Bissett on, lurking over the high tops there. In the production truck, making us sound twice as good as we really look, is Director Extraordinaire Amjad Yaman, who is using cameras provided to us by Dougie Beard. Tanner, Darlington is probably the last race that guys fighting for a chase for want to race at. Tell us a little bit about this whole thing.
Man, you gotta love this track because of its history, but you gotta hate running it because you're so close to the wall. At some point, you're gonna collect that Darlington stripe. Darlington Raceway is a 1.366 mile egg-shaped racetrack. Turns 1 and 2 is 25 degrees of banking in the corners, and turns 3 and 4 is 23 degrees of banking. And turn 3 and 4 is going to be key today because it's a little more narrower than what turns 1 and 2 is today. So these guys are going to be fighting for track position, and it's very hard to run side by side in the corners because you're so close to each other. You're going to be knocking doors with each other. 220 laps these guys are going to be turning here at this historical racetrack, and I'm telling you, they got their work cut out for them. It's going to be mentally exhausting and physically exhausting by the end of the day. So to get an idea how to get around this egg-shaped racetrack, let's take it to our lap guide here on the Global Sim Racing Channel.
Hey guys, this is Bryce Whitson coming to you again from inside the GSRC Chevy SS Class A car here at the famous Darlington Motor Speedway. We're going to go out here and take a couple laps and teach you how to get around this very unique track on the NASCAR circuit. So when we come out of the pits here, we're going to come right up on the track. You got to be real careful on your qual lap because this place is really, really slick when you very first get out here. Your goal here is to get as much momentum up going through turns 3 and 4 as you can, so you want to stay right up close to that wall. You know, let off a little bit, use a little brake, come right up here and almost scrape that wall with the right side of the car, and then get a nice big run coming off the corner. So here we are going for a qual lap. You're going to want to run it into turn 1 and 2 as hard as you can on the bottom and just let out of the gas and let her drift up to the wall. The sooner you catch it with the throttle, the better off you are. You're going to then take about half throttle through the center. Then when you get straight, get back on her. If you get on it too quick, you're going to spin yourself out. Again, we want to stay right up here next to this wall as close as we can. I got in there a little bit too slow, but not too bad. Again, you're going to get that run coming off the corner. So this track, as I said, it's really unique. It's egg-shaped. Both sides of the track are completely different, as you can see. So as the run goes on, the biggest things that are going to change is how much of that throttle you're able to pick up through 1 and 2, and how hard you're able to drive it into 3 and 4 on the top. Your fuel run's going to last you somewhere between 50 and 60 laps, so you want to keep that in mind, as these races can have a tendency to stay green. One other thing, if you want to pass somebody, your best bet is to try and get a run down this front stretch and be on the inside going into this corner. It'll be a little tight, but you can make it happen because you'll get a better run coming off. So here we're going to go down the back stretch and take a quick pit stop and get 4 tires and gas. So here we are. You're going to have to be real careful coming into 3 and 4 to get your pit stop because it's tight to get down there. There's the pits. We're coming down in here, shift down to second gear, 45 miles an hour. And that's some laps around this famous Darlington Motor Speedway.
And that is the way around the Lady in Black here at Darlington Raceway. So before we get into all of our hot topics here tonight at Darlington, let's take it to our chase standings after Bristol. Scott Eckert is leading the way on top of the board with 6 wins and 713 points. Second place is Jake Wright, 820 points and 5 wins. James Krahula with 2 wins sitting in third place. Drew Carroll in 4th place with 2 wins. Dan Murray with 2 wins sitting in 5th. And now Tommy Ryan with 1 win in 6th. Ricky Harden in 7th with a win. Jonathan Goodell in 8th with a win as well. Ryan Howard in 9th with a win. And rounding out the top 10 will be Rich Jetty without a win. More than likely would race it in on points. But I tell you what, it was looking tighter a week ago outside the top 10 there, Brian. How's it looking there now?
We got Nick Cohan solidly in 11th. He will probably point his way in, seeing as he's got a 120 point margin over the cut line. Don Runkle Jr. also probably in that same stratosphere in 12th. Matt Lacrosse 13th. Rhett McBride 14th. Now this is where it's going to start getting real tight and narrow. You got Rick Thompson with 528, Calvin Filarski with 527, and then Jeff Ward 21 markers back off of that. If we remember, Jeff was having a great race last week at Bristol before getting involved in the lap car, and I think that's what cost him a ton of points, whereas Rhett McBride was able to capitalize on that. We've got Woodrow Mahan, Jeff Ryan, and Brad Collins rounding out the rest of them. And pretty much in those spots, it's going to have to be a win to get those drivers in. Jeff Ward might be able to point in, but he's looking to have a solid run tonight. Currently up there, P3 on the qualifying time. Was very strong last night in the Coastal Safety Auditors Grand National Series that broadcasted here from Darlington on the Global Sim Racing channel. So a lot of things going on back there.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of things have been going on lately.
So as we kind of take a look at it, fuel window, we're expecting about 40 laps on fuel, but these guys would be screaming for tires after about 5 to 7. Other footnote, this is another Fast 5 event. This is kind of a throwback to the old Winston No Bull program, the No Bull 5 program that used to run in the Winston Cup Series. So a $50 bonus if Scott Eckert, Bill Warsler, Ricky Hart, Josh Parker, or Jeff Ward pull off the victory. Now, how they get qualified in there for that? It's going to be the top 5 finishing. The top 5 finishing order. Here.
We apologize for the technical issues that we've been having so far here at Darlington. But anywho, other things that are going on here at the top of the leaderboard, you got Scott Eckert so far taking the top spot on the qualifying board with a 28.100. I mean, that is bad fast. Scott Eckert, bad fast everywhere we go. But I mean, he's doing his work, he's doing his jobs. Craig Stykes, hey, look at that 57 car. in the second position in that qualifying spot so far. Let's see if anybody else takes a lap. I don't think they are, because so far the drivers' meeting so far is going on at the moment. So, with a couple of more hot topics going on. What's that, Director? Oh, looks like qualifying. We're going to go for our pole lap here as Scott Eckrich on top of the board here at the Darlington Raceway. Let's see how he got it done. As you can see, going way out to the wall on the front stretch here, which used to be the back stretch, folks. Going down to turn number 1, going down by that apron down there without touching it, letting the car roll up the track by the wall there. Now you want to hit that bottom, because if you don't hit that bottom, you're going to hit that wall coming off turn number 2. Stay up by the wall on that back stretch there, which used to be the front stretch back in the heyday, down into turn number 3, right by the wall, and then dive it towards the bottom on the exit of the corner, come up right by the wall, and that's how Scott Eckrich got it done here at Darlington.
That's this lap brought to you by Savage Spinners. Savage Spinners are unique river and stream lures created in the Pacific Northwest, handmade quality from the United States to entice fish at an affordable cost. So, Scott Eckrich bringing in another pole. Surprise, surprise. As I was going to say, the top 5 and how they determine that Fast 5 qualified drivers, the top 5 finishers from tonight, will advance to the next Fast 5 race that we've got coming up down in Talladega, coming up here in a couple races. So that's how they get qualified for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Brian, would you like to ever drive a Fast 5 in one of them Talladega races?
It's, boy.
Yep.
Talladega lives up to the definition of insanity, where you're doing the same thing every single time and expecting different results.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head right there.
Alrighty. So another thing, the AdvoCare Cup Series has a new penalty structure going on tonight. It's a little different, a little out there from the old car count system. Basically just used to track incident points. Now incident points don't really matter anymore. And in the event of a caution, a driver can claim the responsibility for that caution. And that kind of goes down as a tick mark. And if you get 3 tick marks in the race, after the second one, you get an EOL, and then EOL at the next penalty or at the next race. And then if it keeps carrying on, then you very well might just disappear from the Cup Series. So, slightly different, but a lot of that falls under our in-race admin, Pierre Digel. I know he can hear me, but he can't talk, so this is the perfect time to either say nice things or maybe make fun of him. We could do that, too. So, we got about a minute 15 left before the field is going to start gridding. Really, the other footnotes, it's going to boil down to the tonight could be interesting, because last night in the Grand National Series race that we had here, there was a lot of early cautions and then a 40-lap run to finish it off at the end. So we'll be curious to see what happens towards the end, or as this race decides to unfold.
Yeah, and this is Darlington here, and you can expect some green flag racing, but it just depends on how hard you're going to take it. You got to remember, it's 220 laps tonight here at Darlington, and you also got to remember, and this is just a joke, by the way, that the start-finish line is where it actually is. It used to be on the opposite end of the track back in the heyday, but today it's the front stretch is on where it is, as you see today. So 220 laps today here at Darlington. You probably want to take it easy to first run, because this is going to be a long race. Drivers by the end of this thing is going to be mentally drained just a little bit, and especially physically drained, because this track, almost impossible to exit out of this track without a Darlington stripe. At some point, you're going to hit the wall.
It's just going to be a thing. It's much to the same way that you breathe and different things like that. It just happens. So now field is going to start gridding up. We're going to go through the full field rundown here, as we talked about. Scott Eckrich sitting P1 with Craig Stykes to his outside of the first row in position number 2. Position 3, Jeff Ward. 4th, Tommy Ryan. 5th, Rhett McBride, after a strong showing last week at Bristol, looking to keep that momentum up. Woodrow Mahan looking for a win up there in the 6th position. 7th to James Grahula. 8th to Dan Murray. 9th to Will Warsler. And rounding out your top 10 is Ryan Howard.
Outside the top 10, you have Thomas George in the 25 car starting 11th tonight. Number 38, Michael Krobach will start 12th here tonight, just outside the top 10 there. He should be up towards front later on. Troy Hayton, the 82, will start 13th. Drew Carroll, Mr. Excitement himself, will start 14th. John Martin in 15th tonight. Nick Cohan will start 16th. Josh Parker in 17th. And Ricky Hard in the 18th position. Nice Ricky Rudd paint scheme there. Jeff Ryan in the 88 will start 19th, and rounding out the top 20, and the last driver to take a time is Dylan Eckhart.
Here are the drivers that decided to not take time, or they got an incident point on their qualifying lap. Jake Wright, 21st. That strategy worked out for him last night, where he was able to stay out, finish P2, 22nd, matching his car number, Michigan's own Matt Lacrosse. Chris Westerfield in 23rd with Brad Collins 24th. Travis McQuestion 25th with Jeffrey Gilliam in 26th. 27th to Airman Rick Thompson. 28th to Calvin Filarski. 29th to Rich Jetty and Benny Ellison rounding out the top 30.
And outside the top 30, you got DJ Beverly in the 31st position tonight. Norm Pelletier will start 32nd. And rounding out the top 33 field is Don Runkle Jr.
Well, Tanner, we got 220 laps here in front of us tonight. It's going to be a long night. These boys are going to be worn out by the end of this one.
They are going to be worn out, and I'm telling you, if they have all that force feedback turned on their steering wheels, they're going to be fighting this wheel all night long, especially if you scrape the wall. I mean, as I said, they're going to be physically drained by the end of this event tonight. 220 laps. I mean, it's a long, long race, so try to keep the fenders on there and try to avoid the wall, which is almost impossible to do, but try to at least have some kind of scrape on the wall. Nothing more than that, though, as these drivers are about to turn. Man, it's going to be tough, man. I mean, I don't know. Are they going to pull out a finish like Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven did here?
Oh, that'd be exciting. But, I ran the Grand National Series race last night. That was 74 laps, and I was pretty well winded on that one. But, that's what happens when you're a fat kid, though. So that just kind of happens, too. So, my exhaustion level probably is not a good indicator of the rest of the series. But there are probably some guys that are more physically fit, some that can handle it. Maybe they turn the force feedback down a little bit, knowing that they would be out there for 220 laps. Save a little bit of wear and tear on the arm. But one thing that won't be getting any wear and tear is going to be those tires. Ford Mustang pace car hits pit road, and Scott Eckridge hits the loud pedal early. Green flag is in the air. We are underway at the AdvoCare Southern 300. He gets a monstrous jump over Craig Stykes and Jeff Ward going off into turn one.
Boy, oh boy, I think the top three cars got the monstrous jump. Not just Scott Eckridge, but Craig Stykes and Jeff Ward themselves. The first battle, actually, there's no battle, really. They're all fanned out single file right off the bat. We got a car way down, 3 wide in the back of the pack. I think that's around Travis McQuestion. Jeffrey Gilliam here. That's Jeffrey Gilliam on the inside of the racetrack.
The way to get around here is you race the racetrack. You don't race your competition. And that's just how you survive. And there you see Gilliam probably got a little squirrely going off into that corner. They just decided to ride it out down there. Let's see.
Man, I'm sorry to interrupt. There was a side-by-side battle between Rick Thompson and the car behind him. Who is that? Behind Rick Thompson, that's Calvin Filarski. They didn't make contact. It was pretty close, though, and it is hard to run side-by-side here at Darlington. I mean, especially down in turns 3 and 4.
Drew Carroll and Nick Cohan, the jerky man, decided to start from pit road. Carroll went back down pit road. Maybe potentially got a penalty of some variety. Cohan's hanging out right out in the front of our leaders right now. Got a report here. Where are we going? The 81. That's Josh Parker. Yeah, everybody's just trying to fall in line. It's a long race, and this is the kind of track that if you can settle out into a rhythm under, you're going to be nice and happy. But I'll tell you what, up front, Craig Stykes is not letting Scott Eckridge get away. Eckridge sometimes has a way of just running off into his own trap early on in these runs, and Stykes is right there as he gets a little squirrely off of the corner, but Stykes is able to keep that number 70 machine right in plain sight of that front windshield.
Yeah, sticking closely with Scott Eckridge so far in the early going of this race. Just ahead of Scott Eckridge is Nick Cohan, who's about to go a lap down if he doesn't pick up the pace here. Scott Eckridge may have to be a little leery about this because it is hard to pass here at Darlington. And if you're going to try to get around a lap car or try to get around someone in front of you, as you can see right there, that's courtesy right there. Nick Cohan pulling below, just saying, go by me. I don't want to interrupt you guys. That is great driving by Nick Cohan right there.
And it's also smart driving from Cohan. He's the only car 1 lap down. Drew Carroll is back on track 3 laps down. So really, if there's an early caution here, the advantage is going to be to Cohan as we're looking back to the field. And there you see Drew Carroll 3 laps down. I think he started from pit road and then maybe got an improper pit exit or something, some kind of penalty, and had to go back down pit road. But he's going to be in for a long night.
Dan Murray lost a spot right there to Thomas George in the 25 car.
Well, Tim Richmond special right there.
The coffee car.
You can't see it right now, but I am wearing my best Ken Squire suit. So, we're getting the full throwback going on there. Everybody, like we said, is just kind of settled out.
James Krahula, he just got passed by, I think that was Drew Carroll.
Yeah, Drew Carroll.
Otherwise, everybody is really strung out here at Darlington. I mean, the race leader right now is, where's the race leader? He's down turns, 3 and 4 right now, and the last car on the lead lap is all the way down in turn number 1. Yeah, so everybody fanned out.
So number 61 machine, Jeffrey Gilliam, just kind of probably trying to get a good feel for the track. It's hot and slick out there, so these cars really don't have a whole lot of grip in turns 1 and 2. But apparently, that rule of thumb does not apply for our front two. The furthest they've been separated in this run so far in the early part of this race has been about 3 car lengths.
Yeah, and this comes to show of how much talent these drivers have, because you gotta remember, you got about 900 horsepower in these Gen 6 cars, and you're riding around 123 temperature racetrack with the sun just beating down on it. So what that means is the car is going to be loose, it's slick out there, and it's going to be a handful, and these guys are going to have to deal with that for 222 laps. We're already going to be 10 laps into this race, still green flag.
These drivers are already screaming for tires, so I'll be curious to see if maybe there's kind of a strategy play. As I go back, Brad Collins getting passed by Chris Westerfield, gets a little up into the higher groove, tried a little bit of a slide job there. That number 31 Good Wrench Plus machine.
Tell you what, the couple updates here I'm getting. Jake Wright, he made a pass. I think that was around Jeff Ryan. And who was that other guy? I think number 67, Ackley. That was Brad Collins, which was, Brad Collins, he's been dropping back his starting position, 22nd position actually right now. Actually gained a couple of spots, but started 24th, did not take a qualifying time, up to 22nd. Now, I'm just kind of looking through the field here, Brian, just kind of see who's been making the moves and who's been dropping back. And the driver I've been seeing that's been making the moves on the track lately has been the number 22 of Matt Lacrosse. Started 22nd, all the way up into the 16th position already.
Good run for Matt Lacrosse. He's had a series of connection issues over the past couple races, but looks like he's finally got that settled out. And he's really showing some of that early season speed and consistency that got him that win back at... no, he didn't get a win yet.
Not yet.
I had him confused with the 33 Ryan Howard. I'm not sure how I did that, but it happens. Maybe I inhaled thermal paste.
Watch out, Ricky Harden just got passed by Josh Parker heading down in turn number 3. Harden did not want to go side by side in the turn 3. Kind of had to get on the brakes early into that corner to let Parker go by. And that's technically what you got to do here at Darlington, is give and take a little bit, because if you're side by side here at Darlington, you're more than likely going to make contact with the person you race with. So race the racetrack, not your competition. And Ricky Harden getting really loose off of turn number 2. He saves it.
A little squirrely. Turn 2 is really, really fun. Well, not really, really fun in the driver's seat, but really fun up here in the broadcast booth. The track flattens out, and you actually feel like you come shooting out of a cannon coming out of turn 2, and if the car is as loose, if we're lacking as much grip as we are tonight, it gets that car really, really squirrely on corner exit. As just a footnote, Matt Lacrosse has gotten around Troy Haight, so move Lacrosse up to the 15th position.
You talk about, what was that, our director? Or, yeah, speaking again in the wall, I've been seeing quite a few drivers already getting their Darlington stripes. I know Ricky Harden is one of them, but here's a big gaggle of cars where Rhett McBride is. Right behind Rhett McBride is actually the number 24 who gets really loose, and Woodrow Mahan in 07 gets really loose as well, almost getting tagged by Ryan Howard in the 33. These guys are pretty close together here, Brian.
Everybody's getting loose out of that turn 2 spot. Gilliam hit pit road. I'm not sure if it was for damage. Yeah, it had to have been for damage. He had a 45-second pit stop, so getting some damage repaired on that 61 machine.
Yeah.
Pelletier on pit road.
Oh boy. I don't know if they're screaming for tires or just got a lot of damage, because you can hit the wall pretty good here and get pretty significant damage, and it's hard to control a car when you have damage here. It's almost like aerodynamics means a lot, and technically they really do on these straightaways.
Yeah, there you see Dylan Eckhart, Jake Wright battling it out on screen for the 17th position right now. Dylan Eckhart holding on to it, Jake Wright wanting it. Chris Westerfield sliding up into the back end of that battle.
Oh man, Ryan Howard. Oh man, that thing was left, right. Left, right, left, right. That's the way I play golf.
I'm mostly in the forest and in the drink, so I'm not that much better myself.
Oh, here we go. We got a battle right here. James Carhula's in trouble here. Gets by Thomas George gets by James Carhula there. And Woodrow Mahan thought about it, but man, he's like, nope, I'm not going to go side by side in the corner like that.
Those tires are just giving out on that number 24 machine. It's kind of a fine balancing act, trying to save the tires here at Darlington and be fast. There you see Krobach jumping up into the back end of that battle as well.
Yeah, Michael Krobach, he started in the 12th position. He's already cracked the top 10 in the 10th position here tonight. Just ahead of them, Woodrow Mahan's been looking underneath James Carhula, but he just can't quite get there to really get a huge run off the corner. He wants to run off the corner so he can get side by side with them down the backstretch. But right now you can see Ryan Howard, he's going to go side by side. They're both going to go side by side into the corner of the racetrack.
Oh boy, Woodrow up top. He's going to get that run from the high side. Pinch Ryan Howard down. Krobach was looking to get up there and get a little bit involved in that battle, but decided to wisely back out of it. Still only 21 laps into this event.
And Murray's right behind Krobach. He's joined this snake of cars. And, Rhett McBride, he kissed the wall coming off turn number 2. Just scraped the wall, but so far it didn't really make him lose momentum. The only thing that he lost momentum to was that 25 car of Thomas George, who's been on the move as of late.
Driving up through the field, that's the way to do it. There you see on screen Thomas George up to the 5th position. It makes you think it's like the early 90s out there. Look at that. You got the Miller Genuine Draft vehicle, the Folgers car, the old DuPont machine.
And it's just, man, just watching this just makes me want to go on YouTube and just see an old NASCAR race, like, for example, at North Wilkesboro or something like that. You know, this is just the racing that I loved growing up.
Ryan Howard under fire going through turn 1.
That's
and
tight.
He's going to prevail from the top side. Dan Murray, I don't know if it's track conditions, the setup, one thing, the other. It's just really, really hard to get a bite down in the bottom in turn 1.
And did you see Ryan Howard after that corner down in turn number 1? He fishtailed that thing off the corner of number 2. Still in the 9th position for Ryan Howard. Just ahead of him, Woodrow Mahan's going underneath James Carhula.
Yeah, Carhula's struggling. I think he's probably nuked the tires on that number 24 machine, and he's just hanging on for the pit stop.
Yeah, he has, and he's just hanging on. That's all he's doing. I mean, he's doing a really good job at it too. I mean, he's been trying to keep it off the wall, and that's the best thing to do. I'm not really seeing a Darlington stripe on that number 24 Chevrolet.
He's gotten close a couple times. I don't think he's gotten up there and actually kissed the wall, so that could be, why we saw him lose.
Whoa, Howard!
Howard gets right up to the rear bumper. And now Howard is going to be under fire from Dan Murray going off into that corner because Dan Murray is going to prevail from the top side. And it might not be over for Howard as Krobach starts to line up on the rear bumper there as he gets squirrely out of turn 2, but keeps the foot planted in it.
And turn 2 has been a nail biter since the drop of the green flag. I would say turn 2 and 3 and 4 would be nail biters. Just because turn 3 is just so narrow and it's hard to avoid that wall. As you can see, number 38, Krobach is going to let that Josh Parker by.
Yep, and just pulling down, getting out of the way, let him go by. Remember, race the racetrack, not your competition.
Got a long way to go yet here, fellas.
It is Jeff Ward going to be going to pit road here. He's going to be the first leader to blink. That's 27 laps into this one run. Remember, 40 laps is on fuel. If he gets probably 1 or 2 laps out there before everybody or all the rest of the leaders do, would not surprise me to see that 89 machine up to the lead by a good, comfortable margin because tires are going to be huge. Just take a look at Scott Eckridge. His best time is a 28.58, and this time by 30.20. Oh, two and a half.
2.5 second drop off. I would say tires is
second
off.
Yeah, just about 2 seconds. A second and 3/4 basically.
Yeah, tire fall off is huge here at Darlington, and it doesn't help with the hot, slick racetrack conditions like this is. Jeff Ward came in third. He's off of pit road. He picked up 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel, and he is out on his way. Got to stay below that yellow line until the complete exit of turn 2. That's the way to get off of pit road here at Darlington, as he's going to re-enter the race.
He's going to be Superman on those 4 fresh field goods for a number of laps.
And he definitely will be. Just watch Jeff Ward and how fast he'll catch that car ahead. Who's that ahead of him? I mean, look at the closing gap. Yeah, look at this closing gap right here.
He's there.
You don't want to clip the guy ahead. It's kind of hard not to. Look at that. I got no choice. I got fresh tires.
He's got to push the envelope. Anybody else diving for pit road? Not seeing.
And Josh Parker?
The Parker going to be on pit road. He went on pit road right after. It's kind of a late entry into pit road, so it's a little tricky to keep track on. Still the front runners staying out. Let's see, what did Jeff Ward run a last time by? A 29.53, even under fire. I mean, he's 7/10 quicker than the leader. And remember, now he's got some clean track, so I'll be curious to see what the next lap time. Here we go.
Pit stops happening.
Krobach hitting pit road this time by.
The 10 car!
Will Watersler catches the safety car.
Double pit entrance. Don
Russell's in it. Oh, man.
That's honestly one thing we forgot to talk about here, Brian, is Darlington is actually one of the hardest pit roads to get on, with probably the exception of Dover. But I'm telling you, it is a hard pit road to get on, especially under green flag conditions.
Craig Stykes, Thomas George, Woodrow Mahan, Dan Murray, all on pit road this lap by.
Man, that number 10 car, he's crunched.
Eckridge is going to stay out another lap. So is Tommy Ryan. Yep, Tommy Ryan's going to be out there. Keeping an eye on
Uh-oh. Did the race leader, he blinked out on my end.
It looked fine to me. Could have just been a thing.
Might be an iRacing thing on my end. Give me a heart attack.
Matt Lacrosse, Ricky Harden on pit road.
Oh man, James Krahula is just now exiting pit road. Eckridge is off turn number 2 now. Boy, I'd like to see that.
Whoa, who's that behind him? Got all sorts of
Collins?
It was Don Runkle. There we go. No, Benny Ellison, sorry. In the 01. I knew there was a 0 in the number. I just got the wrong one. Oh, he's still squirrely. He's trying to get that car wound up, and it's just getting squirrely down the front stretch. Troy Haight going to hit pit road this time by.
And we got a gaggle of cars where Scott Eckridge is. He's being passed by Krahula and Woodrow Mahan.
P2, Tommy Ryan. on pit road now.
Man, if I was Eckridge, whoa, Eckridge! Oh no! Ryan, no, right in front of the race leader.
Just Ryan.
Man. Gosh,
He kept it going. Everybody bounced off each other, but they kept it pointing the right way.
Oh man, that would have been huge.
Right in front of the leader. Pucker Factor Zulu.
Jeff Ryan hit the wall, and man, he was still out of it. He took a hard left, almost getting into Eckridge. Eckridge must have checked up, and when he checked up, it snapped his car loose on the straightaway.
And in all that, Scott Eckridge actually went up and earned a Darlington stripe up there in turn 3. Now Eckridge is going to hit pit road.
Yeah, you have to now.
Well, and I'll be curious to see just where he falls in it. He's got to get that thing low down. There he goes, 45 miles an hour at the line.
Oh man, don't speed on pit road. That's the #1 goal. Don't speed. If you don't speed on pit road, you're having a good day.
Brett McBride. Oh, we got a spinner off of turn 4. It's the number 33, Ryan Howard. Is it gonna bring out a caution? He keeps it pointing the right way. Just did a couple donuts.
What car number was that?
That was 33. He was in the 2nd position.
Oh man.
Just got a little too high off of there, and it spun around. How did that not bring out a caution?
That was on the racing surface too, right across the finish line. No caution.
Oh, that's going to get everybody wound back up.
And I tell you, if that was a caution, Scott Eckridge was down pit road, folks.
Scott Eckridge leaving pit road. Dylan Eckhart getting on to pit road. That should, if I'm kind of looking at things, that should cycle the lead out to Craig Stykes. Once everybody rounds off and heads to pit road, that should put... Well, Ward's ahead of him, but not for long. There we go. Now it's good. Yeah, so Craig Stykes will be P1. Jeff Ward should be P2. I don't know. Now I got to wait for timing scoring to catch up.
Actually, Craig Stykes and Jeff Ward, that's their position right there. They're pretty close to each other once this gets all fanned out here after pit stops.
Brett McBride going to hit pit road, bringing Rich Jetty with him. That's going to put Brad Collins out front. Get around the leader.
Craig Stykes loose off turn number 4, caught Nick Cohan at the wrong time. Almost crashed.
If we can get through this cycle of pit stops, that's going to be amazing. As many guys have driven that thing sideways and squirrely ways and every other sort of way. Brad Collins, that's going to pick up a point for him for a bonus point. God, he is in a gaggle of traffic.
Yeah, he's going to be in the
Roy
gaggle.
Haight, Will Worsler, Jeff Gilliam, Jake Wright. Collins goes up there and kisses the wall. That's going to stack up everybody behind him. Everybody drives smart. McQuistion on bottom, and there's Craig Stykes.
3 wide, baby.
Collins gets on the radio and says, "I'm hitting pit road, boys. You have to settle it out."
Wow.
I've
seen. I have now
seen. So now that's going to cycle back out to Craig Stykes, as we said, up front in the lead. Jeff Ward in position number 2. Scott Eckridge in position number 3. Tommy Ryan 4th. Josh Parker in 5th. Thomas George 6th. Michael Krobach getting up there into the 7th position. James Grahula should be 8th. Woodrow Mahan 9th. And Dan Murray 10th.
Yes, sir.
That's how I'm seeing it. So you kind of have two strategies at play. There was a gaggle of drivers that decided to pit right around 30 laps, and then there was a bunch of drivers that decided to let the fuel window run out. As there you see Dan Murray getting around the slower machine of Jeff Ryan.
Man, oh man, Scott Eckridge gaining on the top 2 cars drastically. Not this time by, but the last time by, Scott Eckridge was a 5.3 seconds behind the leaders. He's now at the start-finish line of 4.8.
He has five lap pressure tires. Thomas George, Josh Parker under fire here.
Oh. That was close.
They got a little close. Krobach back there in the popcorn position going, all right, boys, you just settle it back out.
Thomas George, he's got a top 5 car. I mean, the way he's been going through the field today, man, I mean, he's got a good chance to finish in the top 5 today.
Got a good run off of turn 2. Going to look down to the inside of Parker.
There we
going
go.
into 3, but the top lane might prevail. He's just able, Parker, just from that top side, you're just able to get back into the gas pedal and get a straighter shot out of turn 4. Parker getting way down out of the way. Or not Parker, that was Pilarski.
5 was shaping up to be a pretty good battle, and not too far behind you got Michael Krobach. Oh, he scraped the wall. I just seen sparks.
A little bit. He's got the airman Rick Thompson back there, right behind him.
That's not for position either, nope. So
airman is 20th, about the 4th car 1 lap down. Right now, Travis McQuistion would benefit from the caution.
Tell you what, from 7th place to 8th place is about a 6-second gap between the 2 cars.
I see Drew Carroll going to get by. Have to see here as everybody decides to settle back down. Don Ruggles Jr. has disconnected. So is Ryan Howard. So we saw him get that big spin off of turn 4, and Howard decided to park it. Battle for position number 8, Woodrow Mahan. Hey, he's going to be under fire here. Oh, Woodrow Mahan has gotten around James Krahula.
Hey, Krahula's been kind of struggling since the drop of the green flag, really. And there he goes. He just got passed right there. Had to let him go. Let Dan Murray go by down in turn number 3. James Krahula, that's going to back him up into the, that's a 10th position. He actually lost 2 positions in 1 lap.
It seems like Krahula might be able to get some good short run pace, but once he gets some laps on the tires, the way that vehicle drives, it just doesn't fit his driving style. Give him a quick on off of pit road.
Yeah, and another battle that I was watching, but it's already done and over with now, was Jake Wright and Troy Hayes. Troy Hayes actually the last car on the lead lap, so if caution does come out, would get the Lucky Dog award, but right now Jake Wright is the last car on the lead lap. And if I'm not mistaken, he's being pressured just a little bit now by our race leader, Craig Stykes.
And Craig Stykes winding up to the back bumper of Jake Wright. Try to put him a lap down. Not every day you get to say you put Jake Wright a lap down.
Yeah, exactly. And usually Jake Wright, we're used to seeing him being up towards the top 5, battling for race wins. But today he is currently going to be going a lap down here soon if hold off the race leader. Right now, Jake Wright showing in the 14th position.
Got a report that Rich Jetty just got a little squirrely, bounced into the wall, getting his Darlington stripe of the night. Oh, the 07.
That was Woodrow Mahan. Oh, and Dan Murray. Dan Murray got his Darlington stripe.
Just think, kids, we've got 171 laps left.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, just 50 laps into this race, man, these guys are probably already feeling, the physical drainage right now. Some of them may drive with force feedback. Some of them, I talked with iRacers on the iRacing server, some say they don't even drive with force feedback on racetracks. So either way, sitting there for a long time can definitely be physically drained and sometimes mentally drained with all the activity that's going on around the racetrack.
Absolutely. There's just a lot to take in from the driver's seat, especially at a track where you get the varying degrees of tire wear after a green flag pit stop. Some guys battling, some guys coming, going, different things like that. We got a battle for position 3 shaping up here really quick. Oh, contact! Eckridge on the wall! He got a part of it with Matt Lacrosse. No caution.
No caution. They were not 100% totally sideways to bring out that caution.
Scott Eckridge going to hit pit road. He's speeding on pit road, I think, so he might just very well be done with it.
That's interesting right there. I don't know what happened to Matt Lacrosse. Just from above here, he just turned right on Eckridge. Oh, did he get help from the car behind him, though?
No, it was just a lazy spin, it looked like. As Eckrich has disconnected now from the event.
Wonder if Matt Lacrosse got a little sideways coming off turn number 2. I don't know. That's oddly a car would go right like that. Wow, that changes a lot of things about this race today here at Darlington.
Listening to some of the chatter in the thing.
Did you hear Drew Carroll?
Matt Lacrosse saying his point of it. It wasn't intentional. It was just kind of one of those bizarre sort of accidents. So now, let's see here. Let's do a quick AdvoCare top 10 or AdvoCare through the field. If you're looking to add some spark to your life, AdvoCare gives you a full line of options from wellness and weight loss to those looking for a little more performance of their active lifestyle. Please contact independent distributor James Grahula at james.grahula@gmail.com or at the link in the description below. Craig Stykes, your leader now by a healthy 4 seconds over Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward fighting for a playoff berth. He's back. I think he's going to have to get either point in over these next 2 races or grab a win. This is a great opportunity right here in front of him. Tommy Ryan up into position number 3, having a Tommy Ryan sort of race, just not making a whole lot of noise, but I'll bet you at the end of this one he's going to play a factor in it. Thomas George up to the 4th position in that Tim Richmond throwback scheme, and he has Josh Parker back behind him in the number 81 in the 5th position. Number 6 on track is Michael Krobach, having a good strong run after qualifying in the 12th position. In 7th, we've got Dan Murray, the Daytona 300 winner and the Michigan winner a couple weeks back. Just in the 8th position now, we've got Woodrow Mahan, and he's going to be under fire.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. Jeff Ryan is out of control in turn 1 and 2.
Let's jump out of that and take a look. Replay.
Oh, he hit the wall and just went sideways.
Hits the wall, gets loose there, drifts it. Yeah, he got it back under control.
Got back under control. Down pit lane now, and that could have been big if the first caution of the day would have came out, but tough break for Jeff Ryan, that Mellow Yellow machine.
Rounding out that top 10 is Rhett McBride after the strong showing in Bristol last week, backing it up. You know, he's got to be there in the points, and now he's running back-to-back really strong runs, so just trying to cement what he has to do.
Searching all over the racetrack here, a battle on McBride.
Oh, big time squirrely off of turn 2, but kept it going.
Battle I'm kind of looking at here is Josh Parker. He was under attack from Michael Krobach. No, he was not, excuse me. Josh Parker was under attack from the number 7, Rich Jetty. Jeff Ward's in.
He's going to hit pit road, 34 laps on those tires. Now I have a feeling that the, kind of like sharks in smelling blood in the water, Krobach on pit road behind him.
This might help Krobach out a little bit to get into the top 5. Oh, James Grahula! What happened to Grahula?
I think he went to go to pit road and missed it.
Yes, sir. Oh, got in the binders. He's sideways trying to get in. Actually, he was way far out.
And that Darlington pit road is not easy to get onto, especially under green flag. It could be even a little tricky under caution. Now I think he's going to get it wound down, round 2. He's taking a more conservative entry.
Oh, another car that's going to be hitting pit road late. The 01, Benny Ellison, he makes it in.
Everybody getting there. Craig Stykes going to hit pit road. Right side of that machine a little torn up.
Second round of green flag pit stops happening at Darlington and Utah. We said earlier, Brian, it is the hardest pit road to get onto under green flag conditions.
That is true. It's just tricky. There's no other way around it. There's no banking down there to catch you. It's just all flat surface down there.
Tommy Ryan entering pit road late. Let's see if he makes it in.
Gets it wound down. He's there.
There. Nice
Veteran maneuver. Going to hand the lead over to Josh Parker, our Talladega winner.
Isn't Tommy Ryan driving that Jeff Burton paint scheme, right?
Yes, sir.
Good looking 6-car.
Yeah, Josh Parker going to be out front. Rhett McBride going to match the car number, be up there in position number 2. Jake Wright, we were just talking about him being on the very tail end of the lead lap. Now he's up to position number 3 as the different strategies start to unfold again under green flag conditions.
Josh Parker in.
Josh Parker going to hit pit road.
Got it in. He got well down in time.
See, so now McBride's going to get around, get a bonus point for leading the laps. That could be important as well. That midnight paint scheme, I think, is what they call that. That's what Rusty called that.
Reminds you of the paint scheme of Rusty Wallace back in, I think it was the mid-90s, if I'm not mistaken.
You, sir, are correct. Thomas George getting under Rhett McBride, getting back onto the lead lap.
The difference between fresh tires and older tires.
Exactly. He's Superman out there.
Jake Wright, second position so far. Still staying on the racetrack. Ricky Hart in third. Josh Parker exiting pit road. Actually, Troy Haight would be fourth right now.
Looking around here, we're looking at the battle on screen. Troy Haight just letting them by there.
Going down pit road this time by Troy Haight.
To dive that thing down to pit road, get 4 fresh field goods on her.
Oh, was getting sideways a little bit, trying to make it down towards the pit road.
He gets there. So now what I'm going to be curious of, Jeff Ward and Craig Stykes are only going to be separated on track by about 2 seconds. But Stykes is behind a gaggle of traffic, whereas Ward has clean track in front of him. So we could see eventually a battle for the lead shape up here.
Yeah, Stykes, just ahead of him is James Krahula in the 24. James Krahula actually lost a lot of time by missing pit road. And he's about to go by Chris Westerfield in the Dale Earnhardt. I think that's a Daytona 500 paint scheme.
You are correct. That paint scheme ran all in 1998. Jake Wright going to hit pit road. Rhett McBride stretching it out. He can go about another 10 laps. So Rhett's definitely just kind of running his own line, his own pace tonight.
And do you think Jeff Ward's really charging though?
He's charging. He's got to about a second and a half back, but now he's got some slower traffic. He's going to run up on.
Think with Rhett McBride, you said he could stay out for about another 10 laps. Dylan Eckhart is on pretty much the same strategy as Rhett McBride. Do you think they'll have that tire advantage in the later going?
I think it's kind of like a seesaw, really, is what you give up now, you try to make up for the back end. But really what it's going to boil down to is if these guys can make it balance out. You're trying to find a sweet spot because, I mean, they're giving up almost 2 seconds a lap right now. But they know at the end of the run, they're going to be gaining back, maybe about a second and a half of that to 2 seconds. So, I mean, it just kind of depends.
Guys have been green flag with 71 out of 222 laps, so 150 laps to go here at Darlington, and we've been green since the start of this race.
Got a report Eckhart is going to be under fire here from Craig Stykes, but Eckhart got part of the wall. Stykes swinging down low on that number 62 machine, moves Stykes up to the second position now. Oh, Stykes is in the wall just a little bit right there in front of Krahula.
Oh man, the lady in black just struck there. Oh, I heard somebody else hit the wall. John Martin hit the wall.
That's just going to be a thing.
cars in contact on turn number 2. That was Ryan Howard, I believe. Accurate.
Dylan Eckhart. No caution again. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Put it out. That's Steve Park's special there.
Oh.
Right in front of Jeff. Did Ward have? Oh.
That was in front of Ward, and Ward's got a little damage from it. Not as heavy damage as what Dylan Eckhart would have.
Take a look at that again.
Yeah, you gotta remember, they're coming off side by side off of turn number 2, a place you really don't ever wanna come side by side. Tried to lock it down.
Yeah. Well, now that's going to kind of even that all out on the strategy. It's going to make Rhett McBride kind of going to be a genius there, because now Rhett McBride's going to be on the same tire cycle as the leaders. So good on him.
If I'm not mistaken, with this caution coming out here, pit road is going to open this time by possibly. Yes, it will.
Pit road should be open. It should be a very busy place.
It'll be a very busy place, but you gotta remember, 10 cars are on the lead lap, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dan Murray will collect the lucky dog.
You are correct. Dan Murray, being the first driver not on the lead lap, is going to get our Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. There's Brutus the Lucky Dog. Yeah, so we're gonna jump off air here, or not off air. We're gonna take a quick break, catch you back up with how they came off of pit road, and get you settled back in for the remaining 146 laps of the AdvoCare Southern 300. We'll be back. Welcome back to the AdvoCare Southern 300 here at the legendary Darlington Speedway. Leaders have all hit pit road. Rhett McBride first, Jeff Ward second, Thomas George third, Tommy Ryan fourth, Michael Krobach up to the top five, Josh Parker sixth, Craig Stykes in seventh after getting some damage repaired on that number 57 machine, Dan Murray eighth, Rich Jetty ninth, and James Krahula in 10th. Field's going to be under the pace car now. It's under the control of Rhett McBride as he gets onto the loud pedal. Green flag going to be back in the air here at Darlington. Ooh, everybody gets a little squirrely off of the corner. That's going to let Ward get right up to the rear bumper of that number 2 machine. They go off through 1 and 2. It's going to be Rhett in first and Ward looking up high. Going to try to swing down, get the run on the low side. Oh, that couldn't have been any much more closer between the 89 and the 2. Ward down low into turn 3. Is he going to be able to prevail from the bottom side? He drift up. Going to give a crossover there. Rhett's trying, but it's not going to quite stick.
And you got a, man, oh man, side-by-side racing right now. This was the first time these guys seen a restart all race long. So now everything's being tested.
Field's kind of spread out here a little bit in the top part of it. Buddy filing under pace.
And a car that actually really hit the wall hard. And oh wow, we got a, is that Mike Krobach on the bottom there?
Krobach was letting Stykes by, and Parker tried to fill the gap as well, and now Krobach's actually going to lose 3 position as Dan Murray's going to go by on the on the outside. Ooh, that was McQuestion back there getting real low off of 2.
That got dicey. Tell you what, Woodrow Mahan, how is he up there in the mix with these guys that are up there in the top 8? He would have had to have passed Dylan Eckhart and all them guys ahead.
Right, yeah, right now he is the first car 1 lap down, so looking for a quick caution as well as a bunch of drivers that took the wave around last time by.
Everybody's getting strung out here just a little bit. Calvin Filarski leaving that 28 car. He's been in trouble since the drop of the restart. He actually hit the wall really hard off turn number 2. As James Krahula here is going to go high. Whoa! Going out of the way there.
You see on screen, Krahula under fire from right. Working off a turn 2. Wright's going to try to get the position there. That's Filarski, I believe, in the 28, just getting down out of the way.
Right behind Jake Wright, that's Drew Carroll.
That is Drew Carroll, but Drew Carroll is still 3 laps down.
And back up towards the front here, Thomas George in the 2nd spot. You can probably fold 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Actually, a lot of these guys over a blanket here, Brian. This is actually the first time since the drop of the green flag that we've seen drivers this close to each other at a start.
Yeah, these guys are kind of, they're right there. I would not even look too far off of the back bumper there of Rhett McBride, as you see Craig Stykes going to be coming into the picture here. Right now, Jeff Ward, your leader, needing the win to clinch a chase berth.
Yeah, Jeff Ward has actually had a couple of opportunities here, but bad luck has struck him to get that opportunity to be in the chase. Jeff Ward is actually the car that is outside looking in right now. He's 21 points behind Calvin Filarski for that 16th spot.
Ooh, Thomas George getting real close there. He got a great run off of 1 and 2. He got real close to the rear bumper of Ward going into 3. Now Ward kind of mirror driving a little bit there, coming through 3 and 4, keeping Ward out front as just behind him Stykes. You see right through the rear window there. Stykes up to position 4.
And Thomas George, he's had a bad whammer jammer car all race long, even at the start of the race, coming from 11th, cracking 6th place until green flag pit stops came along, and then now He's actually up there in the second position trying to fight for the race lead. Here he goes to the inside, Brian.
The spirit of Tim Richmond alive, and that number 25 machine is going to try to make the bottom work in 1 and 2, and it's just not going to quite stick, as Ward is going to get the better run off of the top side of the track.
Oh, he scraped the wall a little bit.
Yep, just caught a little bit of the fence there.
Not too far behind is Mr. Sleeper, as I like to call him, Tommy Ryan.
Tommy Ryan just having a, like I said earlier, it's a Tommy Ryan sort of race.
In the top 5 every week, but not making any noise. But last time I think he even made some noise was at Bristol earlier in the year.
That was his lone victory on the year, was earlier in the season at Bristol back in March.
Right behind him is Craig Stites. He's actually has had the class of the car all race long, really. He's mirrored back in the 4th position. Can't really gain up any more ground on the top 3 guys.
He's hanging out right now. His car was really good out there in clean air. Now that he's working his way back up through traffic.
Oh man, okay.
Ward getting a little squirrely off of 2.
Well, yeah, there was a lag car that got a little squirrely off turn number 2 and actually drove to the left to get out of the way of the race leaders.
Oh, Nick Cohan with an incident getting it wound down to pit road. Same treatment as Will Warsler. You'll see here. Going on to pit road. Clunk. Luckily, he's in on points, so he doesn't really have to fret a bad finish.
Up front, Brian. I mean, Thomas George. He's been pushing pressure.
He is. He's just not letting Ward get away as Ward gets a little squirrely off the turn 2.
It is so hard to pass here at Darlington. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I mean, you want that race lead. You're trying to get side by side with them. And by the time you get down into the corner, or the car on the outside is just going to have that huge runoff. Jeff Ward actually clipped the apron there. That caused his car to step out just a little bit.
Field winding their way through 1 and 2 again. Stykes might be looking to make some noise up there for the 3rd position, getting wound up close to the rear bumper.
And you can fold over the top 4, maybe top 5 cars over a blanket, because not too far behind is Josh Parker. Josh Parker has a pretty fast hot rod himself. He started back in the 17th position, and he was making moves at the start of the race, and already cracked the top 5. So great run by Josh Parker. Tommy Ryan.
Tommy Ryan, he was trying to look underneath George there, and now he's fallen back into...
Look at Stykes. Gonna try to go to that high side. Wow.
Take a look here. Just taking a look through the field here. Nothing, like I said, the closest battle is going to be up front as Thomas George caught a little bit of the fence there. That's going to let Tommy Ryan draw right up to the rear bumper. Once again, it seems like George can get through the entry to 1 a little better, and then from middle off, that 25 machine just set sail.
Man, oh man, yeah, that 25 machine's just, been hooked up since the start of the race. And he's having a whale of a run today here at Darlington. But again, being a little pressured by Tommy Ryan at the moment here. Tommy Ryan actually got a run off turn number 4. Here they go, side by side on the front stretch here. Tommy Ryan, he tried backing off, but Stykes was there.
He's got it. George is wanting to just let Ryan by, but unfortunately Stykes is going to take advantage. Sideways off of turn 2. Kept his foot in it. They're still going to be side by side going into turn 3. Josh Parker is going to assume the popcorn position, going through turns 3 and 4.
Contact
again. How are they going to get down into turn one? I think Parker's got him this time.
Wow. Hashtag 2003 Darlington confirmed. Caution is out!
Put it out! Where? Well?
Nick Cohen?
No, Cohen was already... Kolarski? Oh, that machine's a little tore up. Oh, yeah. Just coming through, coming off of turn 2, catches the wall, spins down, catches the inside wall, spins back out onto the track, and that will do her.
Oh boy, did he hit that inside wall a ton.
So that's going to bring the whole field down to pit road after 25 laps on those tires. Woodrow Mahan going to be the big beneficiary from that caution, as Woodrow Mahan is going to get our second Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Brutus is giving in a giving mood tonight.
Yeah, he actually only gave 2 lucky dogs tonight here at Darlington.
So either race off of pit road. Who's it going to go to?
I tried seeing if anybody overdrove their pit stall. They hit it right on the dot. Now
What happens when you get these professional drivers?
Here they go,
Looks
Josh
like
Parker.
It's going to be a race between
George,
Ward,
Ryan, Tommy Ryan.
Wow,
that was huge.
I think Ward got it.
Oh, maybe
got him by inches.
What's smaller than inches?
Wow.
That looks
typically,
even.
I think the only deciding factor there is sometimes iRacing on pit road exit will favor the car on the inside. Yeah, because that looked to be about a drag race.
Well, if you look on pit road, Brian, those green cones at the end of pit road, they're not evenly matched up. So,
That's what I'm saying.
And to the first cone, it looks like he got him right by a hair.
It will typically favor the inside car, so I think that's where Jeff Ward is going to prevail.
I just looked at a different camera view on my end, and Ward beat Ryan to that second cone there, or that first cone, just by a hair. Oh, that was exciting on pit road.
That it was. Thinking the field is on 2 to go, so we'll stay with you here.
Oh, a lot of exciting racing here at Darlington, I'm telling you. I mean, this is such a historical racetrack to watch, even in NASCAR itself.
Yep. So as they came off of pit road there, Jeff Ward going to be your leader, Tommy Ryan second, Josh Parker third, Thomas George in fourth, Craig Stykes rounding out the top 5, sixth to Dan Murray, Michael Krobach in seventh, Rich Jetty eighth, the airman himself, Rick Thompson, needing a solid run, and he's going to get there in ninth, Dylan Ackhart in 10th, Ricky Harden 11th, McBride looks like he's hitting pit road again. So now 1 to go. Ward into the control position for the restart.
Yes, sir. Jeff Ward, Tommy Ryan on that front row there, and they're going to be coming on the back stretch, which used to be the front stretch, Brian. I'm sure you know that. And another historical question, or not a question, but historical answer, is Darlington was the first paved super speedway that hosted a NASCAR event. Back in the heyday, they considered Darlington a super.
Yeah, I think it predates Daytona by a couple of years. So yeah,
1950.
1948. Yeah. All right, here we go. Rack them up, stack them up, let them loose here. Josh Ward in control of the field. He gets onto the gas pedal. Green flag back in the air. We're underway at Darlington again. Going to be a side-by-side battle. Tommy Ryan did not get a good restart there. He's going to lose a spot, fall into line in third.
Everybody pretty much got fanned out by the time they got into turn number 1 there. I think the first side-by-side battle behind Dan Murray, Rick Thompson it was.
It will be. Everybody's pretty much top 10 settle themselves out. Rick Thompson going to be under fire from Ricky Harden. He's going to actually concede the position, so move Harden up to the 10th position. 9th position, that is.
Tommy Ryan a little loose off turn number 2 there. Rick Thompson a little loose off turn number 2.
Whole field a little loose off of turn 2. Nobody in the front of the field is really getting away from each other.
First side-by-side battle is not for position, but it was Woodrow Mahan getting by. Actually, it was for position. It's Woodrow Mahan and Rick Thompson. Woodrow Mahan, he wanted that lap back. You know, he wants to get himself back up towards the top 10.
And you see the 07 machine up to the 12th position. Good run. Still 115 laps to go here at Darlington. We're just coming up on halfway. That's right, kids. Halfway.
Oh man, Ricky Harden really snappy loose off of turn number 2. Once again, turn 2's been a nail biter as far as these cars have been fishtailing off that corner all race long.
Battle for the lead starting to get real tight. Josh Parker is starting to reel in Jeff Ward a little bit, and he's bringing Tommy Ryan and Tommy George with him.
Oh, I like that line Parker used off of turn number 2. That was more like a qualifying line.
See, looking off the rear bumper of Jeff Ward up to the front of Josh Parker. And almost like clockwork, as soon as we start talking about it, the field starts to thin out up there.
Tell you what, Jeff Ward, he needs to win if he's going to get himself into the chase here, Brian. I mean, he's 21 points back of Calvin Kolarski, who's actually, if I'm not mistaken, is out of the race. Ricky Harden to the inside, getting really loose.
It got a little squirrely there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Josh, put it out! It's Rich Jetty off of turn 2 in the number 7 machine. Meatball flag is for sure displaying on his screen. Oh, that was a hard hit.
Oh man, who was in front of him? That was Troy Haight. He was already in the wall.
Troy Haight's in front of him. Did that have anything to do with? Oh yeah, that did.
It did. He was already in the wall, and he was too close to the back bumper of Troy Haight. And when here we get a nice onboard of Rich Jetty here, you can see exactly what happened.
Oh boy!
Too close to that back bumper, and by the time Troy Haight made that mistake by hitting the wall, too little, too late. I mean, that was too quick of a reaction time because you're going so fast around these corners. You don't get enough that reaction time to react to a situation like that.
Well, first I'm going to talk about Brad Collins getting the Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog Award. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. That's going to get him through back onto the lead lap. Now, someone that might end up regretting what they did is Josh Parker, because he is the only car on the lead lap that decided to stay out.
Ate him up to lunch.
Everybody else on the pit road with 4 fresh feel goods and a full tank of Sunoco race fuel.
Wow, close battle between Tommy Ryan and Craig Stykes towards the exit pit road, but Tommy Ryan wins the battle off.
With that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. and be back to recap the action, get you back underway here at Darlington. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Southern 300 here at Darlington. Josh Parker, I'll tell you what, he probably has a favorite song from Three Dog Night, and I have a feeling that song will be One Is the Loneliest Number, because he is the only driver on the lead lap to stay out underneath this caution. But let's see how it's going to work for him. I give him till about turn 2 before he is at least out of the lead. He's going to be side by side with Ward here. Green flag's going to be back into the air. He gets a good start out of turn 4, but how long is it going to last?
Well, pray.
maybe turn 2 was a bit early. Well, here comes Ward. Shot out of a cannon.
Blocking just a little bit. I mean, nothing wrong with blocking.
And here comes Ward looking low, decides to go up to that top lane. Well, Parker's going to hold on for a lap. That's better than I thought.
Wow, there was a lot of side-by-side action down turn number 3. None of them hit the wall, though.
Everybody somehow made it through there, as Craig Stykes is now going to rebound up to the 3rd position.
Here we go.
He tried. He thought about it. Wasn't enough of a gap there, as now Ward is going to come under fire from Craig Stykes. It's kind of that moment where it's like being in a public restroom. You either got to go or get off the pot.
And
Stykes gets a little squirrely off of turn 4, but he keeps his foot in it. Now he's going to draw side by side with Ward going off into turn 1. Ward's going to prevail from the top side, though. Just that bottom can't grip. Stykes got a little squirrely, too. That's going to push him back towards Ryan Krobach and Thomas George.
And if this stays green, I hate to tell Josh, but Josh, I think you're odd man out, buddy.
Oh, man. Jeff Ward is driving that thing like it is stolen. Got that thing into the corner, squirrely. Still there. Parker is hanging out a lot better on those older tires than I expected.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly Jeff Ward is quicker, but where are you going to go with the pass? You can't run over the guy.
And I think that's probably what Parker is banking on here. Ooh, his Krobach, I think, got really squirrely or had to check up out of
It was
turn
Thomas
2.
George and Ricky Harden. Oh, Harden and George contact.
Ooh. They made it work, though. As hard as going to be back under the inside. I'm keeping my eye up front. This is going to get interesting here. Parker still hanging on. Ward gets a really solid run through the middle of the corner, but he can't go anywhere. You can try to get him low here. Going off into turn 3. Side by side, Josh Parker, Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward's going to try a slide job. He's going to come up in front of Parker.
He made it.
He made it work. Parker was going to try to cross him over, but it just didn't quite go. Now I'm expecting that 89 machine to check out here just a little bit.
Yeah, as I said, I think he's odd man out.
Now Parker is going to be under fire from Craig Stykes. Looking off of the rear bumper of Parker.
Tommy Ryan, and not too far behind Tommy Ryan, Michael Krobach, Thomas George. How about Ricky Harden cracking the top 10 today?
Good run for Ricky Harden as well. That old Ricky Rudd machine.
I like to say poor Dan Murray, but poor Dan Murray, he hasn't been up. He's been up. He hasn't really gained or lost anything all day today. He's been qualified 8th, and currently in 8th.
Oh, Stykes he got around Parker, got into turn 3 a little hot. Now, oh God.
Oh, this is bad.
Josh Parker, he's in a bee's nest back there. As now he's going to drop 2 more positions. As Krobach is going to look on the inside of Ryan going through 1 and 2. They're still going to hold it side by side, boys. This is going to work on corner exit. Oh, it almost did.
They didn't even hit the wall.
No, but now that slowed Krobach down, and now it's going to let Thomas George get around.
Man, I don't know. I was about to say, this ain't going to work, boys.
Everybody's settling back out again.
And that's what makes Darlington such a tricky track. It's just so hard to pass here. And you said it earlier on the top of the show, Brian. Race the racetrack, not the competition.
It's absolutely the case. It's the smartest way to get around here, because then you're going to be the one with your car looking the cleanest at the end of the race. Stykes has set sail on Ward, and he's not letting him get that far away as we look back up front. It's about half a second separating our top 2.
Well, I mean, it's crazy how far this race has really changed from the start of the race to the middle of the race. Actually, we are in the middle of the race, and soon we'll be getting towards the end of the race. If you've seen earlier at the start of the race, Scott Eckridge was probably maybe one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. And then all of a sudden it formed to Craig Stykes leading the race for a while. And then now it's forming to Jeff Ward leading the race. So we got a mixed bag of racing going on for the race lead.
A smorgasbord of strategy, if you will, or a smorgasbord of events. As Harden's going to get on the inside. First one I've really seen to make the bottom work.
That's
there.
Parker.
In
Murray.
1 and 2. Parker, those old tires are screaming at him now. Oh, that was the airman, Rick Thompson, getting real squirrely off of turn 2. Happen to see this blue car just dart real low.
And Parker's in trouble.
He's trying to hang on to that thing to the best of its ability, but he slipped from the lead back to 8th, and it's probably going to be another position as Jake Wright looks low going into turn 1 and 2. He's going to make the top lane work.
I tell you, Parker, he's just in trouble. He's screaming for tires. He's screaming for a water bottle or a spectator on a catch fence or something to bring out a caution.
So he's, what was there was a caution at Indianapolis a couple years ago for a balloon. I remember that one.
I think there was one for at Chicagoland Speedway one year with the propaganda shoot that went on the racetrack.
Yeah, that was under qualifying. that big inflatable orange drifted onto the track, and I think it was David Rudman was taking a qualifying lap at the time.
And imagine if that was a race.
And yes, do not adjust your screen at home, folks. That is Will Worsler, not with a hood on that number 10 machine. That, remember, Will got into the safety barrels at the end of pit road, and I think that just cost him the hood, but he's hanging out there in 10th, so more power to him. Or 11th, sorry. Oh, Eckhart got real squirrely off of turn 2 there. Jake Wright looking to get low on Parker again.
Oh, Will Worsler in the back.
he got real loose down there in the bottom of 3. Still out front, Jeff Ward, Craig Stykes, Tommy Ryan, Thomas George, and Michael Krobach making up your top 5.
Oh, car on the wall, number 62, Dylan Eckhart.
It's not been a good day for the driver of that number 62 machine.
Yeah, he tried to let some cars by, but he got into the wall there, and it just stuck like a magnet.
Someone that could benefit from that caution would be the driver you see on screen right there, Matt Lacrosse. He's the only car right now 1 lap down, and another driver that'd be looking for another couple cautions would actually be Drew Carroll. He has now worked his way around to 2 laps down. Did he? I believe he stayed out on the. No, he pitted the last time, right?
I think he pitted.
So,
but
so if he gets another caution, basically Carroll's going to need 2 cautions here in a row. He's gonna have to let Matt Lacrosse get up there, and then the next caution, Carroll will get to 1 lap down, and then, providing everything doesn't fall apart, will be the only car 1 lap down. So it's still a long race. We still got 92 laps to go.
yeah, make that 91. I mean, 2 cautions. I assume we can get 2 cautions in 91 laps. But so far, we've had a pretty solid race. A lot of clean flag racing here at Darlington.
Well, and the iRacing software has taught us that you're really going to have to be stopped down the track to bring out a caution. Spinning out down to the inside of the apron's not going to quite do it. See, looking out the rear of Jeff Ward. Many names similar today. Looking out to the rear bumper of Craig Stykes, keeping that car right lock and tame. Getting real close there. Got a good run off of Ford and Stykes.
And the crazy note is Jeff Ward needs a win to get into the chase. Craig Stykes, I don't know if I don't believe he's chase eligible.
Nope, this is his 3rd start, I believe, in the PRL.
But still, what a whale of a run. 3rd start, and you're running up towards the front at Darlington, 2nd place, and you're just nearly inches. Battle for the lead right now.
There. Remember, Stykes won his debut race at not the Brickyard. It was the next race. That's my memory bank is eluding me.
Too much of the apron for Stykes.
Pocono. Sorry, squirrel. So Stykes got.
There he goes.
Wow, he got a great run out of turn 2, and he's going to be fighting Ward there. Tommy Ryan loves this. He's going to say, "Okay, you boys go ahead and tear your tires up. I'm just going to be back here."
Tell you what, Stykes needs to be careful, because if he keeps going to the inside like that, and Tommy Ryan is there, he's going to take that outside lane to get that momentum off the corner.
Yeah, you definitely don't leave a door open. Tommy Ryan will be a guy that will fill that.
Top 3 can fold over a blanket right now, and it's about 2.5 seconds back from the 4th spot of Thomas George.
Taking a look here. We're getting a report here from Trevor Bissett, Dan Murray, and Ricky Harden have been engaging in a good battle here.
Race lead looks like is going to go for a good battle. Yeah, Dan Murray and Ricky Harden, those 2 guys have been battling pretty much almost all race long. Dan Murray finally got out of that 8th position, now up to 6th. Ricky Harden's been up and down the leaderboard all race long. He's up into the 7th position, started 18th, and right behind them is Jake Wright, started 21st, up to 8th.
Stykes is getting a fantastic run on corner exit.
Oh man, he fishtailed Jeff Ward did.
Stykes gets such a good run that he can't go anywhere with it.
Yeah, you just don't want to go into the corner and all of a sudden make contact with the driver ahead. These guys, they got a lot of respect for each other. They're trying to race each other as clean as possible, and it's really shown on the track today from both of these drivers.
That it is.
Stikes!
Everybody's getting squirrely off a turn 2. Ward got squirrely. Stikes got squirrely.
But everybody's loose.
There's a fan up in the stands that got lost their footing too. Tommy Ryan gonna hit pit road. Gonna short pit. It's an interesting strategy.
Tommy Ryan's like, I'm done with this third spot every week. I'm going for a win.
Well, it's a road course strategy here. Parker is in. There's not a surprise there. Get those tires off of that machine. But Tommy Ryan, it's a road course strategy. If you can't quite get around the guys in front of you, get to pit road before them. Get some clean traffic, or get some clean track and beat them on track. Our director, I know, is an avid road courser.
I think Thomas George may have got popped for a speeding penalty. He was way over 45 entering that cone line on the entrance of pit road.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. We'll just have to see. If he did get a penalty, he would have to stay in his pit box for 15 seconds.
Battle for the lead. Stikes has gotten around Ward, but Ward's going to hit pit road. Ooh, get that thing wound down. He's there. So now where's Ward going to come out in relation to Tommy Ryan?
That was actually a pretty good idea to pit like that. Thomas George fans out there, he did not get a pit road speeding penalty and backstretch.
Oh, it's Jeff Ryan in the 88 machine. Caution is out. Put it out.
That changes a lot.
Jeff Ward is going to be the big benefactor because I believe well, going to have to see. The person that bites is going to be Tommy Ryan.
Well, when did the caution come out? Because if the caution came out after the race leader passed Thomas George may get the lucky dog.
Might.
Guys, oh man, I gotta check this out.
There's Grahula going by. Huh.
This changes a lot, actually, because
it changes pretty much everything.
Right.
I don't think Jeff Ward is going to be the lucky dog because he was on pit road. Time of the caution.
Right here's the caution. Who was the race leader at the time? Who was the race leader at the time?
It was Stikes.
Stikes was going down pit road.
All the leaders going to hit pit road.
Thomas George was coming out of pit road. I'm just
going to point at the pace car and see who passes it.
Exactly. That's probably the best.
Matt Lacrosse.
Matt Lacrosse gets the lucky dog.
Matt Lacrosse is going to be your coastal safety auditors. Lucky dog. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. So he's going to jump back out to the lead lap. Where?
Ward's going to get the wave around.
Yeah, Ward's going to have to take the wave around.
Yep. So
Hardin has stayed out. So is Krahula. But I think they're staying out to get caught up to the pace car.
Right behind the pace car, you got...
Stikes wins the battle off of pit road.
Drew Carroll, Jeff Ward, Rich Chetty, Troy Haight, Tommy Ryan. Hell, Tommy Ryan, Thomas George, because they were especially Thomas George, he was exiting pit road at the time of caution. So he technically has 4 fresh Goodyears on without a lap on it. So he's going to take a wave around. Josh Parker, I assume, will take a wave around. So will Rhett McBride. Oh boy, catch my breath.
So Hardin and Krahula have hit pit road. That, you know what? I'm not so sure that maybe was a strategy play there from the driver of the 15 and the 24. If, and I do mean if, we can go green to the end, I know for sure that these two can now make it on one more stop. I think everybody else on the track right now that pitted the previous lap, I think they'll be able to make it as well, but Hardin and Krahula for sure will be able to make it. Just in case. So let's recap how they came off of pit road. Craig Stykes is your leader. Dan Murray now up to the second position. Jake Wright third. Michael Krobach fourth. Will Worsler in that I'm not sure how. The airman Rick Thompson there in the sixth position. Brad Collins in seventh. Eighth to Woodrow Mahan. James Krahula ninth. And Dylan Ackhart rounding out your top 10.
Wow, a lot of guys you didn't think would be that got involved in some kind of incident today. You're not thinking they'd be in the top 10, but
just keep swimming. Ricky Harden back onto pit road as we're not going green.
Nope, the race officials waved off the restart here to get everybody a chance to catch right back up to reorder the field here, so that's a very good thing.
That would be a stampede of cars trying to get everything all cycled around. Yeah, Harden hit pit road. It looks like to top off the fuel tank there.
Two to green right now, Brian. Catching our breath here with a lot of racing action. Guys hitting the wall, turn two, a couple of cautions of here and there. How do you think this is going to play out? We're going to try to go green to the end, or you think we're going to see a caution or two before this thing's all set and done?
Well, I don't know. I mean, last night, like I said, in the Grand National race, we had a long run to finish it out. We could see another long run here to finish this one out. It's just going to have to depend.
One thing I like about Darlington here is it doesn't have those fancy suites that you would see at other racetracks. Just go up to the stands, sit in the grandstands, and just enjoy some fantastic old-fashioned racing.
This track is on my bucket list to get to.
One to go signal right now here at Darlington as these drivers are about to come off turn number 2, which has been biting drivers as far as a loose condition all race long. As we got I'm reading Dan Murray as the race leader. Is that right? No, Craig Stykes
is your leader.
Craig Stykes is the race leader. Dan Murray second. Jake Wright.
Look at Jake Wright starting 20th or 21st on the grid, up to the third position now. Krobach there in fourth. Will Worsler missing the hood. Still not sure how that car is running that good. But the field is under Stykes' control, and Stykes gets away big time on a good jump. Green flag back into the air. We're underway again here at Darlington. Wow, that was a rough start there for Dan Murray. He's going to go from second to fourth. He gets real squirrely.
He got caught sleeping big time on that restart there.
Kind of looking around here.
Another driver
is gonna.
Boy, a driver that cannot afford any kind of. Oh, Josh Parker's back down pit road.
Parker had some issues there that we just didn't see. I don't know.
Tell you what, a driver that's going to have to pick his way through traffic is going to be Jeff Ward. He's back in the 11th position. Not where he wants to be right now. I'm sure he's would feel a little more comfortable up towards the front, but he cannot afford whatsoever to be back there. I mean, he's more than likely got to win this race if he wants any shot towards the chase.
Well, we can take a look here. I know our director is really proud of his points as they run.
Oh,
you got that up and running? We'll get the points as they run. So there you see Jeff Ward, 5 markers. I can't math. That's 7 markers back. Calvin Filarski for the last chase spot on points. Now with Filarski in,
I think he's out. He's out. 25th.
Out of it.
He's out of this race.
Yeah, 22nd is where Filarski's running. So you need every spot is 1 point. So that's just the basic math that Ward needs to follow.
I count Filarski in 25th position. But
One timing and scoring says 25th, one says 22nd.
and the other one says 24. So
All right, so yeah, 25th. Anyways, there you see Jeff Ward getting around Kahula. Dan Murray under fire here.
yeah, you got to go now, Jeff Ward. Got to go. I mean, if I was the crew chief of him, I'd be like, time to go, Jeff. Jake Wright, that's the highest position he's been in all day long. Second position, holding strong, keeping tabs with Craig Stykes. And right behind is Michael Krobach. I think that's as high as Krobach's been all race long.
He's up there into that third position. Good run for
Dan.
Michael Krobach.
Look at Dan Murray. He's cracked the top 5.
Kind of listening here. Well, and Stykes is not running away from Jake Wright.
Actually, Jake Wright's been catching him.
Just a little bit. It's that long run pace.
Tell you what, if there's one person that doesn't mind looking at his temperatures, is Ward and Mahan right now.
Mahan getting a run off the top side.
Arden,
Ward
Krahula.
Bay. Ooh, boy, that got interesting back there.
Tell you what, a driver that has been not keeping an eye on that water temperature whatsoever because it's so cool is that number 10 car, Will Worsler.
You know, the funny part, you know, iRacing can be strange sometimes, and I'm sure maybe he's got some oil temperature because there's some front end damage. There's some more front end damage. Or no, he didn't hit the wall, he just got loose.
He just got loose. But hey, he's running in the 4th position without a hood.
Big stack up. Contact. Woodrow's involved. He's sideways, drifting on the track, but he keeps it going. Saved it.
What a save by Woodrow Mahan, but that was right in front of Jeff Ward. That gave him a heart attack just a little bit. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Incredible.
4 tires and a change of underwear, please.
That's incredible.
Now, there you see Thomas George getting around Dylan Ackhart.
Everybody's just fishtailing off turn number 2. Ryan did, then Woodrow Mahan did.
Yeah, they're not done with it yet.
Tommy Ryan still mirrored back in traffic. This is the lowest he's been all race long.
The bride caught the wall there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. There goes Ryan underneath Mahan.
Yeah, Ryan's trying to get underneath Mahan. Ryan, they're almost not clear. Close the door, or there was still a foot in the door.
Oh, look, one after that car. Oh, wow. Jeff Ward.
Ryan's trying to fight back up there.
Jeff Ward has made all the way up to the 7th position so far. And I'm telling you, this race lead has shrunk the last couple laps because Jake Wright's there. Now it's just a matter of getting them.
Kind of like milking a rooster. The hard part starts once you catch them. The legendary Suzanne once told me.
Man, I like these quotes. Good job, Sue.
do a broadcast with Sue and bring a pen and a piece of paper. Between that and a pinata full of bees are probably my 2 favorite that he's ever said. Jake Wright looking to get drawn up to the rear bumper there of Craig Stykes.
Top 3 cars, you can fold over a blanket right now. All 3 of them are on the front stretch entering turn number 1 as we speak. Big gap from 3rd to 4th. Almost, 4 seconds that is? Almost.
I talked to Krobach a little bit before this race, and he was not really looking forward to Darlington because he said it wasn't one of his better tracks, but look at him up there in the 3rd position. Got Jason Leffler inspired throwback ride.
Got very little damage on that number 38 machine. So he has seen very little of the wall today. Calvin Filarski entering the racetrack, back on track.
Filarski's rolling again, but he'd have to run about 25 laps to get one more position.
I tell you what, that one more position may mean a lot towards the chase. So you got to get out there and do everything you can.
Ricky got really Ricky Harden there. Got really sideways off of turn 2.
Tell you what, Tommy Ryan, one of the fast cars today. Like I said earlier, this is the lowest he's been all race long. That caution bit him when he made his pit stop. Krobach pit.
No, it was a misfire there on the auto chat.
Oh. Oof,
yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too. I was about to say something when he came right over the all team chat. Ooh, Krobach catches the wall there.
Darlington's right.
Came over all teams and said, "Not pitting, not pitting." That's good battle for the 10th position here. You've got Dylan Eckhart has it. James Grahula and Tommy Ryan both want it. Is Ryan going to go?
Spin 25.
Oh, it's Thomas George.
Thomas George.
Everybody reacts everybody reacts good. Put it out. Ooh.
Yeah, he made contact with Rick Thompson, but Rick Thompson was already in the wall prior to contact. Tried saving it, overcorrected it, came up on the racetrack.
I'm just trying to. Everybody ran out of room there, and ran out of room in turn 2. So now that's. So Josh Parker looks like he is going to get our Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. So for mysteriously going off of the lead lap, now he's back to it.
Thompson's actually going to stay out to get a bonus point.
That's going to be crucial. 1 point here and there can add up big time.
Jake Wright's gone. I mean, here we go. Pit stops ending. Craig Stykes will win the race off pit road. Close battle for second. It might be Jake Wright.
I wasn't really sure. Looks like Wright. So that being said, we're going to take a quick break here and come back on the other side here to finish out the Darlington Southern, or the AdvoCare Southern 300 at Darlington. So stay tuned. We'll be back. welcome back to the AdvoCare Southern 300 here at Darlington. Craig Stykes is going to be our leader off of pit road. Here we go. He's got it under the field. Oh boy, easy enough for me to say. Green flag back into the air here at Darlington. He gets a good jump off of turn 4. Jake Wright going to fall in line, and Michael Krobach going to go up to the 3rd position as well. Maybe looking at a challenge for 2nd.
Wow, a lot of side-by-side battles here in turn 1 and 2. Hardin was one of them.
Hardin and the Hoodless Morsler. Sounds like a movie.
I tell you what, he looks like he just came out of a Wrangler commercial because he's driving Ricky Rudd's old paint scheme, and he is digging it, baby.
And Hardin is one tough customer. That was the old slogan there too.
That was the old slogan. I think that slogan started happening when Earnhardt broke his leg at Pocono one year.
It just it all kind of worked out.
Drove the following week.
Boy, how far we've come.
Tommy Ryan going under attack on Will Worsler.
Tommy Ryan up to the 6th position now, slowly marching back up through the field. He's going to be bringing Jeff Ward with him.
As I said, Jeff Ward needs. Oh man.
Well, he's up a couple more spots. Could definitely make next week at Richmond very, very interesting.
But I tell you what, Calvin Filarski is actually up another spot, but he's 64 laps down, so.
The whole field still needing.
Oh, big wreck, number 10, Will Worsler!
Worsler, Parker.
Wreck.
Oh boy, put it out. Wrecking off of turn 4. So what happened?
I think Will Worsler, he hit the wall, but got tapped in the back and the left.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't naturally spin that way. I think he got some help. So Thomas George got a part of that too. I just saw that in the bottom of the frame.
Oh man. Wondering maybe if we possibly get on board of James Krahula's.
Yeah, there's Parker, George.
Did George get through?
No, he didn't. He went to the way bottom, and everybody kind of followed him there.
James Krahula doing some slicing and dicing on the brakes, trying to get through that. He gets through it.
On board here. Wow.
Oh,
there
Parker.
And there you see George. Whoa.
Parker took a left.
Ron got another part of that. I did not catch that initially.
Oh, take gone. Oh.
Here we go. Just okay. No, I'm clear. I'm clear. Oh.
Just. Swinging.
Well, you know what? I've found our Dory Award winner for the night, Drew Carroll. He is now the Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog Award, getting him from 2 to 1 lap down. But more importantly, he's the only car 1 lap down, so he does need one more caution. But Drew Carroll, your Coastal Safety Auditor Lucky Dog Award. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services.
Maybe by the end of this...
He might get back to it.
He might. I mean, I was just about to say, maybe by the end of this race, he can find Nemo.
He might be able to. Now remember, kids, fuel window is about 40 laps here. So even pitting there does not put you to the end. So let's see. We're going to let timing and scoring cycle around. They were only on track. Really only had about 4 green laps on those tires.
I wouldn't expect front runners to be pitting right now. I would expect some guys maybe towards the tail end of the lead lap to come down pit road for some 4 fresh tires and top it off. Brad Collins is actually going to be one of those drivers.
I mean, you can top it off all you want, but if you can make it 48 laps, you've got 2 fuel tanks.
Yeah, but I mean, you could. I mean, towards the end of the caution, come down pit road. But yeah,
no.
Brian's like, no.
Sorry. I mean, I don't mean to kill the buzz there, but no. It'd be like an old Smokey Eunuch trick. I think there was one time where they busted him for having a bigger fuel tank. So what he did was he had the same fuel tank. Or no, he had a bigger fuel tank, but then he also had longer, like he took the fuel lines and ran them like around the car like 3 times. So it took the fuel that much longer to get there. So no, it was the same fuel tank, but because the lines were longer, he was able to stretch it out. Smokey Eunuch also building a car that was 7/8 scale somehow.
Working outside the gray area, as they say.
The Smokey Eunuch lived in the gray area.
Did you say 40 laps on fuel?
Yep.
Okay, then no. 48 laps to go, coming to 47. Clutch it all you want, turn off the car, and let it coast all you want.
You need someone. You basically need to shut the car off and have someone push you for 7 laps, and then you can make it.
Pretty much. Maybe if we get caution in 7 laps, yeah.
And if you notice, too, our director just pointed this out to me. It looks like the track is rubbering in there in the dynamic track surfaces that iRacing has. If you notice, that top groove is starting to gray in a lot, and where they run off into turn 1.
Yeah, it really has, and that's where these drivers have been running all race long, and the more they run there, the more black it gets. I mean, how convenient. Lady in black?
Yeah, it works out. So let's restack this one. Craig Stykes, you're still your leader. Jake Wright second. Dan Murray third. Rhett McBride in fourth. Michael Krobach fifth. The first one, he looks like he took 2 tires. Tommy Ryan sixth, and Ricky Harden seventh. Jeff Ward up to 8th. James Grahula ninth, and Rick Thompson, the airman, there in 10th. Ford Mustang pace car hits pit road. We're going to be restarting for the 7th time today. Green flag back into the air. Craig Stykes gets a good jump, and now they're going to be side by side for second, going off, crossing the start-finish line now. Jake Wright has it. Dan Murray wants it. Oh, contact!
Oh, huge wreck!
Big wreck, big junk. Rhett McBride is part of it. Calvin Filarski is part of it. Drew Carroll somehow doesn't hit a thing.
Well, should be some...
At some point, show me an onboard of the 87.
Oh, Jeff Ward involved.
What happened there between Krobach and...
It started with McBride, because McBride actually hit the wall, and it was one of those moments Tommy Ryan was too close to that back bumper.
Yeah.
And
Krobach caught him a little bit there. Yeah, watch the onboard here. Because I happened to just glance up and see it.
Tell you what, Brian, after we're watching Drew Carrier, I'd like to get an onboard of Ricky Harden. He didn't really get any damage from that.
Right here. I'm safe. Whoa!
I'm safe. Yep.
Whoa!
How about it not? Ricky Harden, watch it. Barely any damage.
I want to see how did Ricky get through that?
Watch this.
He's right behind Tommy Ryan. There's the initial contact. Oop. Well, he got some of it.
It was maybe a scrape, but I mean...
All right, officially now, the Dory Award winner for Just Keep Swimming, Drew Carroll. Back-to-back Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Awards. So now Drew Carroll finally on to the lead lap. Only took him 177 laps to get there. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. I wonder if he's been sandbagging it all this race, just riding it out. Does the 87 have anything for this?
Tell you what, man, he was, 3-4 laps down at the start of this race. He's now back on the lead lap, sitting in 12th. He's got a shot for a top 10 finish after all that.
Just listening in here, taking a look at the drivers working around the track. Brad Collins is going to hit pit road. God, I'm gutted for Jeff Ward. Just gutted for him.
He's got to do whatever he can to stay in that top 10.
I mean, he still can at least gain about 10 spots, 10 or 15 points on Filarski, because Filarski, Let's take a look here. He's up to 24th. I mean, if he just keeps riding, he can at least knock 10 points off.
Here, 547, 540. 7
That's as they run right now. And remember, that gap was, what was that gap coming into this? 20-something?
That was 20. It was 21.
21 points. So Jeff Ward just needs to keep going. And he just drove it into the tire barriers to end his day.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Ah, boy.
Yeah.
Man, well, I mean, that chase bubble though. Wow, that was.
Well, now he's just cost himself 10 points. So, I know our job here in the booth is to be objective, but think before you act, kids. Anyways, Craig Stike still your leader. Jake Wright in second position. Dan Murray third. Michael Krobach fourth. Ricky Harden in fifth.
Taking the green flag back, racing here at Darlington Raceway, historical racetrack with about 42 laps to go. When
42 laps to go. Yep,
they're 41.
Right. I mean, I don't think they can make it on fuel. They're right on the. I mean, if there's another caution here, the window is open. So, with that being said, Craig Stike still your leader. Ford Mustang pace cars away. So is Craig Stike's on to the loud pedal. Green flag back into the air with a little bit of wheel spin from people. Dan Murray getting it wound up through the gears.
Oh, car in the wall. Rick Thompson.
Rick Thompson, the airman.
Oh, car in the wall. Harden, hard.
Ricky Harden now getting a part of the wall. Darlington apparently is not done claiming victims yet. It's Dan Murray. What's Dan doing? I think Murray's going to pit now. Why not? It's a bold strategy call. That's all I know. It's bold, but you know what? We saw him win Michigan with an offbeat strategy as well. So
I've seen everything.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we've seen tonight.
I've seen fire, I've seen rain, I've seen crazy pit strategy calls, I've seen virtual rain.
Yeah, we did see virtual rain in Iowa a couple weeks ago. But yes, Dan Murray's going to go a lap down right now, but he does have enough fuel to make it to the end, so we'll just have to see.
Well, Drew Carroll, 7th. Trahula's been actually the highest he's been all race long as well. I mean, he's up in the 4th spot. Now it's just a matter of catching Krobach, Wright, and Stikes.
That it is, yeah. Trahula, just like you were saying, running as high as he ever. Oh! Eckhart into the wall. He's going to let him scrape off the paint. No contact. Drew Carroll up to the 6th position.
Man, all race long, 3-4 laps down, and you're already in a 6th position trying to fight for a top 5. That's saying something right there, brother.
Carroll might be he's on the outside of the field window as well. The only person I know that can make it now in the end is Dan Murray. And he's also double covered as well, because if a caution comes out, he's the only car 1 lap down.
And you might as well just stay out or go down pit road, get 4 fresh tires. Actually, if you get the lucky dog, iRacing technically makes you go to the rear of the field.
It does, but he was going to be back there anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of he's got nothing. When you got 2 wins, you know, why not try to go out there and steal a 3rd one?
Last race before the chase, why not?
Why not?
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting, Brian. I'm telling you, this chase. I mean, we thought we'd seen a lot of excitement this season. Just wait till the chase starts.
Yeah, when we will we'll also go through once we get to the start of the chase, kind of go through how that all works for everybody at home. It's gonna be pretty similar to the NASCAR format, except we have a 3-race playoff at the end instead of a 1-race shootout.
I actually like that a lot. I mean, think about it this way. I mean, you're still racing for points, though. So, I mean, instead of just one race, and if you wreck, you're done. You know, it.
Correct.
Kind of got a little leeway.
Rewards consistency.
Yes.
Krahula on the pit road.
So we know now Krahula can make it if we stay green.
The window is open from here. Now I'll be curious to see where he comes out in relation to Dan Murray. Because Murray he's been able to rip off the fastest lap times.
Well, yeah, he just hit the wall in 3 and 4.
Ah, he's fine. It made it faster. Made the car slimmer.
I was trying to see where Murray would end up. He would have to go by him one more time to try to get that back. So James Krahula getting 4 fresh tires, filling up the thing with fuel. So now we know 2 drivers that can make it on fuel.
Yeah, and I'm just keeping an eye on Krahula here. Krahula's out of pit road. Dan Murray's at the start-finish line. Krahula very well might beat him here. They'll be very close, but I think Krahula's going to get him.
Krahula will.
And with fresh tires, that's just going to pave the way for Mr. Krahula.
All right, so Craig Stykes leading the race. Jake Wright in second. Michael Krobach third. Those 2 guys want a battle eventually. Ricky Hart in 4th. And Drew Carroll running out of that top 5. Now I wonder, with the top 9 cars that have yet to pit, which one's going to blink to get down pit road?
They'll be curious to see. Right now, Stykes has the advantage by about 0.4 of a second over Jake Wright. Apparently, I forgot how people were named.
Darrell now hitting the top 5. Thomas George in 6th now.
Who's going to be the next one to blink?
I don't know.
I mean, Krahula really is only running about 0.4 of a second quicker. So the tire advantage isn't that big right now.
Yeah.
What you're probably going to end up see is guys split it here in probably the next 9 to 10 laps. And then a caution will come out, and that's it.
Yeah, it usually does happen towards the end of the races here. And I'll never forget, I was leading a race one time, and caution comes out with 8 laps to go. And what do? Do I go down pit road as a race leader and everybody stays out? Or do you stay out and everybody goes pit road?
Darned if you do, and darned if you did.
Position number 2 heating up right now. Michael Krobach getting really close to that back bumper of Jake Wright down the back stretch, which used to be the front stretch. Krobach down pit road.
Krobach's going to decide to send her down pit road.
Now I like his pit line right here, close to the inside wall, and stick with it. All right. Oh, we got another car down pit road as well. Thomas George in the 25. Okay, so
Thomas George going to hit pit road. Car's a little beaten up. Driving around straight though. Craig Stykes staying out.
Harden staying out. Reich, I believe, stayed out. Drew Carroll staying out. Catching Harden though.
And Tanner, I've realized we've been wrong this entire time. This is the final race of the regular season.
Yes, sir.
I've been corrected by a chat, so thank you to Big Joe Hazard out there for showing that I am an idiot sometimes.
I'm not sure if you caught me earlier, but I did say this was the last race before
Yeah,
the chase.
you said it, and it went right in the right ear and screamed right out the left ear. Still probably bouncing around this room somewhere.
That's why Jeff Ward, he really needed to at least get a win today.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
That's
he had the
so.
car
That's why he basically did what he did. Okay, I'm here.
Oh, hard in the wall, Volarski.
Keeps it pointing straight.
And I wonder how many of these drivers that are trying to do this fuel deal here, and they're actually having the broadcast listening in the background, and then we shout like that, and we get them all jumped up.
Dylan Eckhardt on to pit road. So right now, of the guys that we know are good on fuel, Michael Krobach is in front of that. So Dan Murray was the first one to do it. James Grahula was the second one to do it. Now Krobach's the latest to do it. So 3-2-1.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dan Murray, or excuse me, Thomas George, Dan Murray.
What did Dylan Eckhardt? Did he just take fuel only? I want to look. Yes,
What?
he did.
He fuel only?
Fuel only for Dylan Eckhardt. So now we know he can make it to the end, but he's behind everybody else. Ooh, Stikes. Stikes is on. He's trying to get to pit road. Here he goes.
Give that race lead to Ricky Harden in the 15.
Ricky Harden is your leader now.
Rick Thompson staying out.
The airman himself.
Yes, sir. Big right, exiting the pits.
So now where's this going to cycle people out? Krobach right now still of the advantage, or the ones that we know can make it. He's still got the lead.
Yeah.
And Jake Wright is going to be pressuring James Krahula here and Thomas George. So, but remember, Krobach, of the guys that can make it, has versus some of these guys that are pitting now, he's gotta make the tires stretch. He's going to get around Stikes now. He's going to have an advantage over Stikes because there goes Krobach down the middle of 1 and 2. Stikes is just getting that car up to speed. He's going to have to fight off Krahula going off into turn 3 here. That may be a winning strategy from Stikes.
I don't know.
He's got about 3 seconds to Krobach.
And Dan Murray has not been able to make him any kind of ground whatsoever.
No, and I think I know the strategy here from Harden, Thompson, and all those guys. Stay it out, let it run. You might be able to pin a whole bunch of cars a lap down.
Thompson's in.
Thompson is hitting pit road now, so now that's going to leave Harden in charge.
Harden is the only car on the track that has yet to pit for any kind of fuel. Let's see if he can make it. I think he's going for the gamble.
He might. Those unacceptable racing boys, they're not afraid to try a whole different strategy. Who knows? Maybe Ricky's going to try to get them all stuck off the lead lap.
Well, get this. Ricky Harden, he's technically begging for a caution because if you put this in consideration, Harden actually he's the only car in the lead lap. Only car in the lead lap right now.
Perfect strategy for him.
Perfect strategy, and look where Brad Collins is. He's a little ways back from catching Harden. Just a little bit, but he's still catching him.
Harden is, oh boy.
Oh boy.
It's going to get interesting, folks.
It's definitely going to get interesting. Oh boy, I'm excited. Woo-hoo.
Well, Ricky Harden has successfully lapped the field.
But there's a lot of time from here till the end, though. But if we stay green, will Ricky Harden capture a victory at Darlington?
If we get a caution here in the next couple laps, it's good. It's going to be it's a brilliant maneuver.
It is.
Oh boy, but I'll tell you what, heating up is going to be the battle once Harden pits. The battle here right now on screen between Michael Krobach and Craig Stikes. That's going to be eventually the battle for the lead. Krobach's going to block him all the way down the front stretch.
Well, where are you going to go? You all want to go 3 wide here at Darlington.
Yeah, but Stikes is going to have the fresher tires here by a couple laps. But if Krobach can just run the line, he might be able to keep Stykes behind him.
I'm telling you, Hard is going for it, man. Hard is going for it.
Ooh, I'm watching here. Stykes got up to the rear bumper of Krobach. And there maybe was a little contact there.
Yeah,
Stykes going low, but we've seen the low lane not work.
Not that
There he
time.
goes.
Oh, loose.
Wiggle out of that 57 machine.
Man, I'm telling you, look at this
Here they go
aggressive
again.
racing. Both of these drivers.
Oh boy, you couldn't have put a piece of paper there between those two machines. Robot gets the run off the top side. Gonna hold him back again.
Nope. Not this time down turn number 1.
Stykes just gonna fall in line.
Uh-oh. Catching Harden.
Yeah, they are catching hard, and that's gonna be an interesting maneuver here. They're gonna get themselves back onto the lead lap. It still wouldn't be bad.
Harden, man, he could probably get out of these guys' way and clutch this thing.
Nah, he's not going to be able to make it on fuel, but he's going to play an interesting role in how these two all shake out. Ooh, Harden gets up into the wall a little bit, and he's going to come down. He's going to hurt Stykes more. Stykes had to roll out of it. That's going to give Krobach some breathing room.
Okay, so that's going to put Krobach and Stykes back on the lead lap.
Jake Wright's not too far behind him either. Ooh, Stykes got a big run through the bottom of 3 and 4 side by side down the front stretch. 12 laps to go here at Darlington. Krobach driving it off into the corner. Stykes!
Oh, wow! The first
Stykes
time we've
got
seen-
by.
Wow, that first time we've seen that bottom line really work like that.
He had to drive it aggressively.
Hard in the wall, hard!
Keep it going straight. All right, 11 laps to go here at Darlington. Stykes, I think, may have this one taken care of. Krobach is going to be under fire here from Wright.
I think Dan Murray's pitting. Yeah, he's pitting.
Yeah, he's going to hit pit road. Maybe it just didn't work.
Yeah, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I really questioned when he came in, like a lap after we dropped the green flag.
That car's really beat up on the right side, too. So maybe he took a little bit more damage and decided, this isn't fun.
6 cars now back on the lead lap. Last car lead
10 laps to go.
Thomas George.
Ricky Harden, he's run 40 laps right now. If he could stretch another 10 laps out of that tank, I'd be shocked.
He'll pull a Carl Edwards of 2008 at Texas. Remember that?
I believe I do.
I think that was like, he went like on a 70. Wow, right in Krobach. Krobach and Stykes. Oh, right, it is right. Oops.
Yeah, Wright going to be putting the pressure on that 38 machine. Wright does have fresher tires by about 4 laps. Side by side going off into turn 3. Who's going to prevail? And it's going to be Krobach from the top side. Harden onto pit road. So now that should cycle out Craig Stykes to the lead.
And I'm telling you, Krobach's doing everything he can.
Fighting it for everything he's got. Now, do remember, folks, there are no green-white checkers on iRacing. So once we get to probably 4 laps to go, that's going to be the point of no return. The next flag will end it. So, Craig Stykes has a 2-second advantage over Michael Krobach. Krobach is under fire from Jake Wright. And have the run. Here we go down the front stretch. He's going to try to get it to work this time. Not quite. Krobach is going to be able to put the power down from the outside. Little tight off of turn 2. Here comes Wright once more to the bottom.
And if we get a caution, this might, maybe, possibly will end the race because iRacing does not do green, white checkers.
I'll probably get about 4 laps to go before that will happen. Woodrow Mahan just kind of going to get out of the way of the lead or of the second place battle. Tell you what, this is really, these guys fighting it out has brought Drew Carroll back up into that battle. So we're about to have a three-way dance for the second position.
Yeah, definitely. And Krobach's Jake Wright's doing everything he can to get by Krobach here. Drew Carroll, man, what a field day he's been having all race long.
He was 33rd at one point, dead last on the scoring pylon, and now he's up to a battle for the second position. Oh, right hard into the fence. That's going to bring Carroll up there. Drew Carroll sneaking by, so now that gives Krobach a little bit of breathing room.
Tell you what, man, Jake Wright, he was doing everything he can. Now you got Krobach right here. Wow, who's that in front of Krobach?
It's Dylan Eckhart.
Looked like he kind of blocked him down in that back straightaway there just a little bit.
Now Eckhart gets out of the way, but there with that gap for that advantage there for Krobach. Three laps to go around Darlington.
3 to go, and Craig Stykes, man, what a drive he's been having ever since he made his debut in the PRL.
Absolutely, he's had just looking on his second win here with 2 laps to go. One at Pocono in a convincing manner, and now looking to come back and get another one here at Darlington.
And I mean, that's one thing a lot of drivers want to win at is Darlington, just because of the history and the prestige at this historical racetrack. I mean, who wouldn't want their name on Darlington? Oh, Craig Stykes at the wall.
Drew Carroll snuck by Krobach there for the second position. White flag is in the air for Craig Stykes, but the battle is back here for the third position. Rhett McBride's going to get out of the way. That's going to let Krobach Wright, but Wright got a little bit loose going through the corner there. We're going to look back here on Craig Stykes coming through turns 3 and 4. Going to pick up his second win on the season. Craig Stykes going to be the winner of the AdvoCare Southern 300 at Darlington. Drew Carroll looking to finish second. Is Krobach going to hang on to third? Yes, he is.
What a race. I mean, seriously, what a race. Craig Stykes, great job today. And you got Drew Carroll finishing second after starting the race 3-4 laps down.
That's incredible.
We're turning to Kyle Petty.
Craig Stykes going to take a Tokyo Drift sort of approach to celebrating here. You want it, Darlington. You can do whatever you want to do. He's making the donuts here on the front stretch. We're going to be back on the other side with a full field rundown, driver interviews, and we're going to get you set up for the start of the chase for the AdvoCare Cup. So stay tuned. We'll be back as Craig Stykes celebrating here victory at the Darlington Raceway. Welcome back to Darlington, where we finally reached the end of the Darlington 300, 220 laps here around the Speedway. And at the end of it, Craig Stykes has prevailed as your winner. He's got Drew Carroll on the second step of the podium, Michael Krobach third. We'll talk to those guys in the post-race. Jake Wright finishing fourth and rounding out your top five, Thomas George. Sixth to James Krahula. Seventh to Ricky Harden, the airman, Rick Thompson in eighth. Ninth, first car off of the lead lap, Brad Collins and Dylan Eckhart rounding out your top 10.
And outside the top 10, you currently have Dan Murray. His strategy did not play off tonight, finishing 11th. Chris Westerfield in 12th. 13th is Rhett McBride. 14th, Woodrow Mahan. Jeff Ward in 15th. Doesn't look like he'll make the chase. 16th, Tommy Ryan. Troy Hayton, 17th. 18th is Matt Lacrosse. 19th is Will Worsler. And rounding out the top 20 is Josh Parker.
In the 21st position, Calvin Filarski clinching his spot into the chase tonight. Jeff Ryan, 22nd. 23rd to Jeffrey Gilliam. 24th to, I lost my place here. 24th, Rich Jetty. 25th to Benny Ellison. Nick Cohan in 26th. 27th to Travis McQuestion. John Martin in 28th. 29th to Scott Eckrich, our pole sitter. And 30th to Ryan Howard.
Outside the top 30, you got Don Runkle Jr. finishing 31st and Norm Pelletier in 32nd. DJ Beverly did not take a lap tonight.
So, with that being said, we're going to catch up with the driver that finished in the third position, Michael Krobach. So, Mikey, long night, not at least in the early part of the run or the race. Not a whole lot of cautions to reset everything. How are you feeling? First of all,
I'm pretty exhausted, Brian. I'm sweaty. My hands are shaking. My arms stiff. Yeah, it was a tough night. I've run the Coke 600 before. I've run the 24 Hours of Daytona, and nothing comes close to running Darlington for that long.
That is, 300 laps around here. Now, remember, the Real Cup Series does 500, so imagine another 100 laps on top of that. So, able to finish third tonight. Tell us about your night, though.
Yeah, practice was a struggle for us for our number 38, clipping that Apex HPP Simulation Chevrolet. We were just trying to get some qualifying runs in. Didn't do any long runs in practice whatsoever, so going into the race, it was pretty much, a total unknown for us, and just tried to ride conservatively, just keep the tires under it. It would get real loose off of turn 2 as the run went on. The tires meant everything tonight, and just kept plugging away, tried to keep my nose clean, stay out of trouble, and it was working for the most part. But that one caution there, when I took 2 tires, came out, got on the apron a little bit and washed up, just totally unexpected there, and I took out Rhett McBride and Tommy Ryan, so I have to apologize to those guys. I hope it didn't ruin their nights too bad, and hope they can still make the chase here in PRL. But I wanted a short pit there and try to get the jump on Craig and Jake. I thought we were pretty even on speed and did all I could to hold off Craig, but just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, they are solidly in the chase as well, so nothing lost for those drivers. Now, you are not in the points. You've only run a couple starts here in the PRL, 6 starts actually to be exact. So, I mean, nothing left to lose here over the last couple races. Going to try to put that number 38 machine in victory lane.
Yeah, it's all about building for next year, I think. Just getting some experience racing with these guys, doing longer Cup races, and all that, and trying to put a good show for our sponsors here. We're running the Jason Leffler tribute tonight, paying tribute to him, as well as Brian Clausen, and my good buddy Scott lost his dog Bonnie this week, so we're riding with Bonnie's name over the window tonight.
Sounds good, Mikey. We're going to head off to Richmond next week. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, Richmond's one of my favorite tracks. We ran that in the IROC Cup Series this season, and I actually beat Craig that week on old tires too. So looking forward to heading back there. I think we can have a good run for our HPP simulation and clipping that Apex sponsors here, and looking forward to it.
There you go. So we'll catch up to you next week. Have a good night, Mikey.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. So I'll tell you what, Drew, Tanner, you've caught up with a guy that pretty much been on every single spot of the podium tonight, or of the scoring pylon tonight. You've caught up with Tanner, God bless it. Tanner, you've caught up with Drew Carroll.
I have caught up with Drew Carroll, and Drew, there's reasons why they call you Mr. Excitement, and that's because you started this race about 3 or 4 laps down, whatever it was at the start of this thing, and you were picking your way through the field, actually little by little trying to get those laps back, and now you finally got those laps back. Just ran out of time to get that win, but you still finish second place. Take us through your day.
I don't know. I gotta catch my breath. I was driving my heart out there at the end. We decided we were just gonna, just start in the pits. Just try to stay out of a lot of people's way. There's a lot of guys running for the chase tonight. I didn't want to get into anybody, and ended up speeding in the pits coming out of pit road there. So that put us back 3 laps down. Then we got into a couple other incidents, hitting the wall and stupid stuff like that, and decided to take some damage, which put us 4 laps down. Then, to be honest with you, the cautions just fell our way. A couple of them did. A couple of them I wish we had back. We would had a little bit more time there, but our car was really fast. I mean, I feel like I was running the fastest laps out there. It was just hard to get that 57. I think if we had a restart, we would have been right there, but my car was so used up. I had to claw and dig for everything I had there. But I am definitely happy with second place. I did not think at the start of this thing, when all that stuff happened, we'd be finishing second. But oh my God, I feel like I passed every car 4 or 5 times tonight.
Yeah, that's one of the feelings you're going to get here at Darlington. Is you feel like you pass everybody, and all of a sudden, you get my drift on that. But I tell you what, Darlington Raceway is one of the hardest racetracks to race on a NASCAR circuit. It is an egg-shaped track. How physically and mentally drained, after your experience tonight, how physically and mentally drained can you be after driving here at Darlington?
Well, I mean, I probably that's the guy you want to answer that, because I feel like I've been to the back to the front to the back to the front like 4 times. So it's tough. It was a very long race. I didn't realize it was this long till we got in here, but it was really draining. Especially there's such a fine line to be fast here at Darlington that you got to try to hit every lap, and if you don't, then you're into the wall. So it's very, very hard to ride that line and to try to be fast and be consistent without damaging your car. It's really tough. It was a long race. I am tired right now. It was definitely draining for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can only imagine. I've driven so many races at Darlington, but I've really never been a part of a 220 lap race here at Darlington. 67 was the most I've ran here, so you got me outbeat. So now that you're in the chase, Richmond is coming up to open the chase. How do you feel about your chances at the start of this thing?
Well, if we perform like we did tonight, I think we got a pretty good shot going all the way. But it just shows what this team is. We just kept trying to claw and dig and just trying to get everything we could, and it shows right here with tonight of why we're a championship winning team and is staying the course and trying to get all we can get. But answer your question, we're going to Richmond. We had a rough race at Richmond when we went there the first time, but I think we'll be better here this time. Hopefully the setup's fixed. I remember last time we were during the day, and that was completely scary getting on the throttle anywhere. So I think we'll have a good shot for Richmond, but I think we got a really good shot going all the way and trying to get this championship.
Most definitely. That is a great confidence in you there, Drew. We thank you for talking with us today here at Darlington. I know you're mentally and physically drained, but still, thank you for your time, and we will see you at Richmond.
Hey, thank you. I just got to say congrats to Brian on the win last night. I watched a little bit of it, watched him wheel to the win, so that was pretty cool. And thanks, guys. Really appreciate the broadcast.
Thank you, Drew. That is Drew Carroll finishing in the second position tonight after amazing runs coming from 3-4 laps down. Second tonight for Mr. Excitement himself, Drew Carroll. And Brian, you have caught up with Craig Stykes into victory lane.
Craig Stykes, your winning percentage on the season so far is astronomical. Congratulations, first of all, on your win here at Darlington. How did you get there? I mean, it was, tell us about your night.
I don't know how I got there, to be honest with you. I took it one lap at a time. I felt like I bounced it off the wall every 3 laps. One minute I'm having a blast and feel like I've got it figured out. And then the next lap I'm hitting the wall and sideways off of 2 and they're starting to catch me, but I don't know. I just kept, thanks to my team, they helped me a lot with different pit strategies and, just because when I'm driving, I don't know what I'm doing on pit lane. I just when they say pit, I go for it. It could be I ain't no good at figuring up pit strategy, stuff like that. I just drive it and hopefully they tell me what to do.
There you go. Well, hey, it worked out for you. And that winning percentage you've got, was your third start on the year and your second win. So definitely not a bad way to spend your Tuesday evenings here. How was the track out there? It was 125 on the track temp because of that sun beating down on it. How was it wheeling around this old place?
It was extremely slick. I was having a lot of issues when I would enter the corner, especially going into 3. I just could not get the timing down, and I would hit it way either too hard or too easy. There, kind of at the start of the race, I was trying to stay lower just to keep from beating the side off the car, and it was just getting me. Everybody was pulling me on the exit of the corner, so I had to just start entering higher. And when I done that, I found some more speed. And then on the exit, the very first run, Scott, he was really fast. And I hung with him for, I don't know, probably 10 laps. And then he just started pulling me. And I checked my tire wear when I got in the pits, and they were almost dead even. And I was like, what's the deal? So the next run I went out and I actually burnt my rear tires up a little bit more, and it was faster. So just pretty much keeping the car free really made a big difference on the long run. On the short run, I couldn't pull anybody. There was one time I think I restarted in 5th, and I couldn't pass nobody. And I was thinking, they figured this out or I'm messing up somewhere. But once the tire wear started coming in, I was able to start running them back down. It's so tough to pass because you get under someone and you hit the next corner and you're just, I hate getting into people. I'm actually glad that Drew got a good finish because I messed him up. I went to pit and I lifted a little early. I called my pit and evidently he didn't hear it. And I went to go down and there was a car underneath me and I didn't know what he was doing. So I kind of stayed up on the track a little much and he got into the back end of me. So I hated it for him, but he got a good finish. So it worked out.
Gotcha. So, we're heading off. You're, like I said, you're not in the chase. You're going to keep trying to put this number 57 machine in victory lane as many times as you can?
That's the plan. If I could show up for the races. I know I haven't run a race since Watkins Glen. So if I had computer problems at Michigan and then I didn't get home in time for Bristol. So do my best to make it if I can. And Richmond's definitely not one of my favorite tracks. When you get to the short tracks, I just hang on and get what I can get, pretty much like I do at Watkins Glen. I just can't. Any track that uses a lot of braking, I just can't figure it out. So, but we'll do the best we can.
Sounds good. Before we let you go and celebrate your victory, any final shout outs that you want to make or anybody you want to thank?
Mainly just my team. Dylan, Troy, Will, Chris. They just, they do homework. We practice every now and then, and we got a little group text to kind of share what little information we figure out, and then we just help each other out. We're not a big team. We don't do a lot of testing. Just do what we can do, and whenever the green flag drops, we just wing it from there.
Sounds like a good plan. Congratulations on your win again, Craig. Hopefully we'll see you up on the road next week at Richmond.
That's a plan. Appreciate it, guys.
All righty. So, Tanner, we finally finished up here. It certainly seemed like a long enough broadcast, but we were able to get it done. 220 laps around the Darlington Raceway. We kind of sum up our day here.
Yeah, most definitely. Long race these guys are. You could tell in their voices that they're sort of drained out right now, and they're just going to go and relax after tonight. But I'm sure these guys are ready to get the chase started at Richmond next week and see some beating and banging there and see who's going to get a good momentum off at the start of the chase and who's going to have the bad luck.
That is true. So, but we'll find all that out next week when we're going to take this GSRC circus and go just a little bit up the way from South Carolina to Virginia. So with that being said, we're going to shut down the broadcast today. We want to thank AdvoCare for sponsoring our race, James Grahula for organizing this whole madhouse of a series. Thank you to the software and the hardware that we use for our broadcast that you can see listed on your screen right now. Aha! Thank you to the team today, Tanner, Amjad, Trevor, and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about the Global Sim Racing Channel, you can find it at www.globalsimracingchannel.com along with archived races and upcoming broadcasts. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. A special thank you to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, who both provide music for our broadcasts. Their music can be found listed on the locations on this, or listed on the at the locations on the screen. See, it's a long enough broadcast for me. Just go to the website on the see. You see it on there? Go there. You'll get their music. As we talked about, next race, August 30th, the Coastal Safety Auditors 200 at Richmond. It's the start of the chase for the AdvoCare Cup. We also have other upcoming races for other series on screen, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. Until next time, may your connection stay stable, your right foot stay planted. Good night, everyone.